Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Can you hear my audio loud and clear? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, good, nice. So, welcome to the virtual grand finals Petrosains RBTX Challenge 2021. And you are now in the Innovation Varsity category room. So, congratulations to all finalists. Yay! So, please give them a round of virtual applause or any congratulatory emoticons that you can click on your screen right now, right down there. So let me introduce myself. I am Haniza, and I will be the moderator for today's competition. So I repeat, this room is for innovation varsity category. So if let's say you are not in the correct room, kindly leave this room and please find the correct one because time is ticking. Okay. So for varsity innovation category, please go to the chat room, make yourself visible, introduce yourself so that our co-host will be able to take your attendance list. Okay, is that clear? Good. So now, because since this is a grand finals, I think everyone must be wondering what the prizes are, right? Okay, so the winner will win. That means the champion will win a cash of ringgit Malaysia 1,500 ringgits with certificates of achievement. And then for first runner up, the second place will win a ringgit Malaysia 1,000 ringgit with certificate of achievement. And the third place, second runner up, will win ringgit Malaysia 500 with certificate of achievement. But then how about other groups that do not manage to win any place? It's all right, guys. Fret not because you will receive certificates of Petrosains Grand Finals competition. So Petrosains RBTX Grand Finals competition. So well, everyone, aren't you excited to hear all of the prizes just now? I bet you did, right? Is it? Okay. So, uh, but remember guys, even though you're not going to win any place, even if you did not win any place doesn't mean that you're lose or something. Actually, the moment that you step in this final competition, that means you are actually the winner. Okay, so now to all viewers, this is just a reminder to all viewers that viewing us through airmeet. Please fill in the feedback form because we will put the feedback form on the chat room. We highly appreciate your feedback. Your feedback will help us to further improve our delivery, our programs in the future so that we can serve you, provide you with best content, with best the best out of best content out there. Okay, so now and today I am not alone. As you can see now, well, I'm on the screen. Seems like, oh, am I alone? No, because at behind the scene, I am accompanied by experts from different fields of expertise. So these experts, they will be the judges for RBTX Innovation Varsity category. So they are responsible to assess and evaluate the innovation projects from all teams. They will give feedbacks, questions to all participants. So that means they play a very, very critical roles to determine the best out of the best for today. So I think most people will be very curious to know who the judges are, right? So, without further ado, we will show you the slide one by one so that you can see their faces, who they are, and I will introduce you to each of the panel of judges that will be accompanying us from the beginning of the session till the end of our challenge today. Okay, so the first judge that we have on the line of panel judges is we have here Miss Nimi Soraya Hilmi. Miss Nimi Soraya Hilmi, Head Programs Development from Petrosains Sendirian Berhad. And secondly, we also have Mr. Muhammad Muhammad Isa, Head of Exhibits Content. from Petrosains Sendirian Berhad, and invited, exclusively invited Mr. Zain Isma Muhammad Lazim. He is the head of data architecture from Petronas PDNT. And last but not least, we have a partner judge, Mr. Tariq Aziz Hassan Al Kutami. He is the robotics and AI engineer from Petronas Research. So, I will invite, we would like to invite all these four judges onto the stage now. Okay, so we're going to say hi, hello to our judges just to see how they are doing. Okay, so to all other participants, you can also say hi, give them a thumbs up, give them a clap, or yeah, you know where to click down there, right? Okay, so hello, Enchi Zain.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Assalamualaikum.
morning. Waalaikumsalam. How are you doing today, Encik Zain?
I'm doing okay, thank you. And I hope everyone
Alhamdulillah.
is doing fine too.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. I hope all other participants are doing fine as well because when it's come to competition, you need your energy, you need to be in your best conditions. Okay. So I think for Mr. Zain, is this your first time being part of the judges for RBTX challenge?
Yes, it is. It's the first time
Oh,
for me.
okay, so that means, but then have you ever followed maybe the progress about RBTX before, maybe as a spectator or audience? Or is
Yeah,
this,
this is my first time, but we have been we have been presented with all the
okay.
information for this event. So yeah, we are really excited to be a part
Oh,
of it. Thank you.
we really love to have you to be part of the RBTX team, Mr. Zain. Okay, welcome on board. And we also have here Miss Nini Soraya. So Miss Nimi Soraya. Hello, Miss Nimi Soraya. How are you doing?
Hi, doing great today. Can't
So
wait
Miss
to meet all the participants today.
yeah, betul. So Miss Nimi, do you have any expectations for the participants that we have today? Maybe what do you expect to see, or maybe what do you want to see from them?
As for me, because I've been the judges few years back for junior category, so this is my first
Mm,
time being the judge for varsity category. And I hope the innovation or invention created by the university students are much more how to say it, lebih menarik dan it can be
mm, betul.
implemented in the real world later, inshallah.
Betul, inshallah. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Nimi. And we will have here Mr. Carol. So, Mr. Carol, how are you doing?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Good morning to
Alhamdulillah.
everyone. Good morning.
Good
Uh,
morning, everyone. So, give us judges a thumbs up, guys. So, Mr. Carol, head of exhibits content, and thank you very much for being with us today. So, Mr.
you're
Carol,
welcome.
is this your first time being a judge with us? With us,
Yes, yes, it is.
but since you're part of Petrosains, so I think,
Petrosains, I
yeah, you're
uh,
not. This is basically RBTX is
every
something
year.
that you're familiar with, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
am very
all
much.
right, all right. So, are you ready to become the judge? You're going to
Uh,
determine the
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
winner.
I hope to see very exciting projects from all of you varsity teams.
Yeah, inshallah, we will see. I believe, yeah, we're going to witness that kind of project from the university students, right? So, and last but not least, we have Mr. Tariq. So, Mr. Tariq, Assalamualaikum, Mr. Tariq. How are you
Alaikum
doing?
salam. Good morning,
Uh,
everyone. Very good. Good to be
okay.
here.
Yeah. So, Mr. Tariq, is this also your first time being
Now,
part of?
I joined last time in
Oh,
2019, I believe. Yeah.
ah.
But that was
So,
physical. This is remote, so it's quite different, I guess.
true. Because now because of the pandemic, so we have
Yeah.
to pivot our offerings towards digital nowadays. So, RBTX challenge is one of it, right? So for Mr. Tariq, maybe you want to give words of motivational advice to our participants today, if you have any.
I don't think they need motivation. I'm sure they are already highly motivated. Every time I join competitions here in Malaysia, I like to participate in these, especially in university level. I
Ah,
can see a lot of innovation there, a lot of thinking outside the box. So good luck to all of them, and I'm sure they have had a wonderful experience.
yeah, that's true. I think so I hope all judges you will just enjoy, chill, and not only the participants, even the judges can also have fun to watch our challenge for today, right? So for those who might be wondering what the partner judge role is, because right now Mr. Tariq will be our partner judge. So basically, partner judge, their responsibility is to give comments and feedbacks for your project. Though however, they will not give you any marks for your project. But dear participants, please take note of their feedbacks, their sharing about your project, because I believe that will be a very what we say insightful, valuable insights for you if you want to further improve your project maybe in the future, or maybe for any other innovation project, not only for RBTX, but even until when you're already in a working field. Okay, so thank you very much, Anchit, Tariq, Mr. Kairul, Mr. Zain, and Miss Nimi Soraya. So we will
Okay, hi. Okay. Seems like Niza, are you with us? Niza, your camera is not showing. Yes. Okay, back with us. Niza, you on mute.
okay. On back. Thank you very much, Honey. So now that we finally reached the grand final competition, I believe this is the moment that we have been waiting for. So to all participants, maybe you feel nervous and all of that, but don't worry, this could be a very good experience for you. And please don't let that feelings too overwhelming to a point that, well, hinder you from doing your best. Okay, so for all participants, we will start the competition at 10 a.m. So each team will be given 10 minutes to do your pitching. Yes, 10 minutes to do your pitching, and make sure that you ready with all the slides and everything, and then will be followed by a Q&A session. So Q&A and commentary session with the panel of judges. So now we will start with the first team. Welcome on stage, AIM team. AIM team. So from AIM team, we have
Hi.
Jamila, Ali Muhammad Nur, and
Hello. Hello.
hello, and we
Yeah,
have
hello. Salam.
Aladal Duai Alice.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that correctly? I'm sorry.
Yes, ala hadallo ay.
Aladal Duai. Okay, so they are from which university are you from?
IIOM.
IIUM.
IIUM. Okay. So who will be sharing the screen?
I would share. 1 second.
Okay, so Luai, you can proceed sharing your screen, and while we're waiting for you to get ready with the screen, we will just have a short chit chat, and maybe Jamila, since Luai will be occupied, so maybe Jamila can answer on behalf of your friend as well. So you, both of you from IIUM, on what course do you take at UIA at IIUA?
Engineering mechatronics.
Engineering mechatronics. Oh, so for engineering mechatronics, since I'm a non-engineering people, so if let's say someone asks you, what do you learn for engineering mechatronics? How do you explain to them?
Okay, so basically, mechatronics is three parts. It's a mechanical,
Mm.
electrical, and software. So we learn these three divided by each of our subject, like quarter. So yeah,
Do you have fun learning
that's
the?
basically the yeah. Of course, we have fun learning. Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you, Jamila. So, are you ready to start with your presentation?
Yes, you can see the screen, right?
Yes, I can see the
Yes.
screen.
Okay, okay.
So, okay, so the stage is yours, Jamila, and why?
Yes. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are Group M from International Islamic University. I am Al-Ahd Al-Lu'ay, and my partner, Jamila Muhammad Noor. Our supervisor is Assistant Professor Dr. Ahmed Jazlan bin Haji Muhyiddin. Okay, our project is talking about the anatomic emotion detection for the companies. Okay, firstly, how things should work in the companies. Most of the companies now, like, it has a lot of stressful, a lot of pressure for the employees and employers there. So usually the best place for workplace is like everyone is positively, like they work with not that much of pressure. They work like for 8 or 6 hours, then they go back to their families, they are happy. So that is like one of the ideal workplace, which is like everyone are happy and everyone got his salary with the good things. But for the problem, Mr. Jamila.
Okay, what is our problem statement? Okay, as a background, we searched about the stress and we found that 51% at least in Malaysia have a work related stress. And there was also a research that said that in 2018, most of the stressed population was Canada, and they all of them were above the half percent that they are were stressed. So, what is our problem statement? So we say that a high stress work environment can lead to a health problem and work errors, and the health problem is so many that we cannot even count it. There is a fatigue, there is a mental problem, physical problem that associate with the stress. There is a work errors, the performance of the worker, it will reduce to even to be a really bad performance. Next. So what caused the problem? Several studies that say that young workers, women, and companies that will lower skilled jobs are more related to have stress compared to other companies. So, what caused it? Heavy workload, long working hours, low morale within the workplace, and friendly colleagues, and bad management. These are the most five reasons why stress is the most one problem in the workplace. Next.
Okay, the important is to fix it. When we fix this problem and reducing the stress in the workplace, we will reduce the health problem. So, like, most of the employees in the company will be having a good health, and we will improve the performance of the company. So when we have like less stress, everyone did his work on time and doing like extra time if they want. So they will improve the performance of the company. Okay, there was a lot of attempt to solve it. So like when the worker, they have problems and they want to ask about their supervisors, sometimes the supervisor or the manager is not that very good to ask. So like they just come and chat with them, or like the supervisor is not even like supportive to make the worker like more better. So this solution is not working for all companies. They have to have at least like the best manager to lead the company. Otherwise, like the workplace will be like worse. Okay, then for the affected problem.
Okay, so there is a lot of we can say the pyramid of the companies are all affected, from the chairman to even the families or the of the workers, because a stressed person, he will not be in his mind, he will just have really physically, mentally problems, and it will affect not the work-based environment, but also outside the work environment to their families. Next, what is our solution for this problem? So our solution is that we propose a software that that have the ability to locate a person face in any image and frame, and have the ability to classify the emotion on the face, which mean emotion detection. So we focused only in 4 classification of emotion: happy, angry, disgust, and neutral. So first, how our module work: it have an image database, then it will have a face detection. It will found, it says found a face or no, then it will crop the face, then it will have a pre-processing and data, then it will go the neural network, then it will classify which of these 4 classification. Next. So for, because we are focusing on a stress emotion, we found that in a lot of research that the emotions associated with stress are anger and disgust. So mostly a person is who is angry or is disgust, he have a level of stress. So what we used 10K to train and 2000 to test from the data. What we used, a laptop webcam and a Google Colab and Python to train the model. Then for live analysis, and we use Spider Anaconda. Next.
Okay, for the result, when we upload our pictures, we found that like the accuracy and the value accuracy is near. So like when the accuracy and value accuracy is like near to each other, that's mean like the accuracy is too high. So if you see like in the end, like 14, like it's around 99%. And we test a symbol, which is this picture of disgusting. Then they say the image is discussed. Then we move to the real-time detection by using Spider. So that's the real camera will be there to detect the faces in the company. So here we detect it was heavy. Then for the natural here, then for the angry, lastly is for the disgust. Okay, we found like some challenge when we like trying to work. Firstly, to collect the data, some of the data is not provided, and also to making our own data set, it's taking time. Then when we upload it to the model, we have to change the size and make it like we make the size like the same. And later in the coding, sometimes like when you just work with the coding, Sometimes adding, sometimes not working, sometimes you have a problem with uploading the data, so you have to start from the beginning, especially for Google Colab. Okay, and later how to present the project to meet with the market expectation. Okay, so the end user for our project will be the welfare. So the idea of the result, they will detect the face. Okay, so the like Petronas, they have a lot of branch, a lot of places, not only just the company itself. They have a lot. So each branch will have this camera to detect the face. Okay, then the officer of welfare will in the end of the day, as we will see later, in the end of the day, they will send in information about the stressful inside this inside this branch. Okay, so they will detect the faces, then they will send the information to the end user. The end user will be the welfare officer. Then the welfare, if he see like there is a lot of stress in like Gombak, Petronas, he will look for a solution for this. Maybe like sometimes changing the supervisor, maybe there is a problem between the employees or with their family. So the welfare will like looking for any solution and the best solution. Okay, so this the end of the day. It will be sent the summary uh, to the welfare, as you see for day one and week one. The happy it was around 50%. That is at the morning at 8 a.m. Then they said the natural later for the angry and discussed here. Okay, then the another one at the break, it will be this one at the break. And lastly, when they go back to their home. So the camera will be like around the gate when the employees going in and out. So in the morning, they will detect their face when they enter the company. Later for the break, when they go to the break. And lastly, at the when they go back to their home. So the camera will be there to detect the faces. Okay, Jimmy.
So for our target market, we have a research that by the 2027, the rate of emotion recognition and emotion detection will increase by 11.2%. So our main target is the companies in Malaysia, and in the long run, we are going to look for the organization around the world. And our sectors is not only just the companies. We want to go further to the government, healthcare, entertainment, and transportation as well. For our competitors, there is Kairos, and Kairos, as we know, that it have a really good software that have emotion detections. As Tyler said, that Kairos has established itself as a leading IA engine provided in the facial recognition space. Second is Noldus information technology, and they have Noldus face reader software. It have live analysis, and it have really accuracy of 99%. So it's a really good software that it can be our competitors. So next.
Okay, for the financial summary, we just need two things. The camera, the webcam, which will be in the entrance and in the break place. And when we go back, when we go back to the home, so like will be in the entrance and the break places. And the camera is like around 37 ringgit. We will need it for 3. Then any computer for software. So just the software, like in the entrance, there is in the entrance there is okay. In the entrance there is a laptop for I forgot their name. So we just connect the camera to their laptop and uploading the software there. Then the software, like when he detects the faces, will be sent it by email to the welfare. Okay. Then what's in the future impact? We impact that like we will have a better understanding for other emotions when you are in the company, like when you will know the others emotion, they are stressed or not. Literally we will just better understanding also of the workplace, as I said, for the welfare, when he know that workplace has a lot of stress, so like he will know that is not a health workplace for all employees. Literally, that will go for improving the emotional awareness and well-being of the social communication, and also will improve the company work.
Okay, for our sustainable development goals, we say that it have three main, 3 and 8 and 12. 3 is a good health and well-being. By knowing the stress level in a company and trying to reduce the stress levels, and uh, it will have a good impact on health and well-being, that by ensuring a positive environment. 8 is a decent work and economic growth as employees, as because 8 is related to 3. Okay, if we ensure a positive environment, employees will carry a right attitude and lead a successful business with the efficiency and more good performance. Then 8 is related to 12, responsible consumption and production, because a positive work environment is more productive and efficient. So all of these three SDG are related to each other. If if we ensure and reduce the stress level in workplace. Next.
Okay. Uh, for our project till now is just only about the face detection by the camera. But inshallah for the future, to make it like more accurate, we just may like make it for like one a week or twice in a week, by knowing the heart rating and reading the brain wave signal. The IoT and also the machine learning can learn, uh, is it a stress, a real stress, or a normal stress? Because the faces is just detect the stress, but like to make it to make sure is it very high stress or the normal one. We will just add later, inshallah, for the heart rate and the brain wave signal. Okay, and that will be when we use both of them, will increase the accuracy and make it very high. And also we will use also we will using a separate controller, which is like not only just a laptop. We may use Raspberry Pi to add the others, the heart rate and others, because now just only the webcam is connected to the laptop. Later on, inshallah, like we can just add any controller to make it like more better. Thank you, and this is the Q and answer question.
So thank you very much, AIM team, Luai and also Jamila. Very good presentation just now. Actually, it's very inspiring how they want to propose solution, how to improve the welfare of the workers at the workplace, particularly in terms of their emotional awareness. Okay, so now we will proceed with the Q&A session. So the session that we've been, yep, part of the most important session in this competition. So we would like to invite the judges onto the stage. Okay, so the judges that will be involved in this Q&A session will be Miss Nimi Soraya, Head Programs Department, Head Programs Development, Mr. Hairul Isa, head exhibit content, and Mr. Zain Isma, head of data architecture. So now we will start with Q&A session with Miss Nimi Soraya.
All right. Thank you, Anissa. Hi, Jamila and Luai.
Hello,
Hi.
assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. How are you feeling after presenting your projects?
A little
Good.
nervous.
A little nervous. No, okay, don't worry. You have finished your presentation. All right. First of all, thank you very much. As someone in a workplace, I really appreciate this uh, innovation or invention of both of you, the automatic emotion detection, right? Okay.
Yes.
Um, Thank you for the suggestion. I have few questions for both of you. During your first uh, slides, you mentioned that the surveys that you use for your benchmarking is AIA. So my question is, do you use any other surveys besides AIA? And the second one is, when we detect the emotion of the workers, how genuine or how neutral is the emotion? Because if they know that the camera is there, so they, if I myself, I could feel that, oh, there's camera watching me, so there might be possibilities that, okay, I need to make sure that I look good, or okay, show my emotion, that I'm angry or I'm disgust, right? So how genuine it is. And uh, and you mentioned that your projects could um, help to increase the uh, growth and how the feelings of the workers, right? So what is your next plan on how to make it, how to say, how to make it really work? I mean, you detect the emotion, so it's like, so what's next? How can that improve the growth of the workers or the company?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
For the last question, how it will be growth. Okay. Just only like the idea of this program till now is just only to detect the face and send the summary to the welfare of the whole company, like the origin of the company. So the solution, like there is a lot of branch and there is a lot of fake person and fake supervisor or fake manager. They are just only when they go to the original branch of Petronas or others company, they just talking as a normal. But when they come back to their, like in Gombak or another places, they come back and like be more stronger for the employees and make more stress for of them. So the idea of the program now is just only send the information to the welfare, and the welfare will know that this place is it very good or not good, is it a healthy places or not. Okay, for the detect, that is like one of the problems. That's why we said in the future we want to add the heart rate and the signal wave, the brain signal, the brain wave signal, because to improve the accuracy. Maybe also for this we just like put a camera anywhere, and that will detect also the employees if that's like just only for the ways. Maybe like we add that because we sell three cameras, and maybe one of the cameras will be just only in the offices, in the office place, not only the entrance. So like it will also will detect immediately if there is anyone like start angers or anything, the camera will be detected for the
Okay.
first and second. Yeah.
Okay, and for the first question was about the survey, right? So because we focus on the surveys on Malaysia, and before pandemic, we come across a lot of survey in the during the pandemic, because stress levels, it increased by 26. So 26 plus the one that we have now, it was like 50, so it become like 70%. But because of the pandemic influence, that's why the stress increased. So we try to search for surveys that before the pandemic, and as you can see, AIA, it was in 2019, the latest one, and we just try to focus on that survey. And to in the worldwide survey, it was 2018. Not is Asian country is not included, uh, but as a worldwide, the percentage was uh, in c- uh, overall it was 60% and less. And for the second question was, can you please repeat it?
All right. My question was, how genuine is the emotion when you detect or classify the emotion? Because the workers might be mindful that the camera is in front of you, so it might not be genuine.
Yeah, that's true. It may be this one because uh, the facial expression, okay, even if you try to make yourself like, oh, I'm happy, there's some, maybe your smile will not reach your eyes, and it will be some errors and some loss in the model training. So uh, this one is as well a throwback to our project, because it won't be accurate, because as well there's a really good actors and actresses with their facial, so as improvement and goals in the future, we say that we will include the heart rate and the brainwave signal, and it will be more accurate. Yeah, is this answer your question?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Come.
So thank you very much, Ms. Nimi Soraya. Now we will proceed the Q&A session with Mr. Khairul.
Assalamualaikum, Ryan Jamulia. Okay.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I um I like your project. We have a similar exhibit here in Petrosains. It's called Big Brother, also facial recognition of emotions. So I have a question, and also probably a few suggestions for you to proceed um, in the future with your project if you wanna commercialize or whatever. Um, Hold on. So you mentioned first you um, this is for employees, right? And then you says that it will go to the HR. I guess the data will be collected and going to the HR. Um, your project is very timely, um, but on so there's two stakeholders, the employee and the company. For your information, some HR in companies, they are providing mental health support to the employees. However, um, they have privacy privacy. They take care of privacy of the employee as well, while providing support, because they understand that this is a matter that not all employees wants to um, let their colleagues or data available. So my question is, from a perspective of the HR or the technical part of the company, how would you um, convince address concerns of when they want to implement this? Let's say there are employees that are concerned that the company is collecting biometric data, especially something that concerns something as worker satisfaction or mental health. That's my first question. You want to address that?
Okay. So, first of all, uh, for the privacy, we think that because it will send to the HR, okay, it need to address a certain privacy that will say that this data will only use for the welfare of the workers inside the company, so it won't use uh, in other places. So it will be more like who will say that you are taking, as you said, biometric features of us, but uh, if they see the how it's benefit the company, and how, because imagine like if I an HR, I'm a worker, and HR come to me and say, "Oh, today you are stressed, and I will reduce your workload because your stress level is too high." Everyone will be happy,
Okay,
right?
yes. Yes.
So that's our idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, of course. Okay. I guess the second one would be it's more of a something for you to consider when you move forward. I see that you're budgeting for webcam to be placed at where
every
was it?
entrance,
Every
en-
entrance and also
entrance and the brick in the brick,
break room.
yeah,
Like
the
lunch hour.
lounge. Yeah,
Why do you choose these two locations? Do you think these two locations give um, the most ideal um, facial expressions during the day, or people fresh coming to work and or during their break? Does the facial recognition at that point of day um, generalize their emotion for the day? Is there a reason you place in these two locations?
Uh, okay, for that, first, like when they come mostly in the morning, most of them like will be fresh. Like otherwise, if they don't like the work, they will come like angry. But the otherwise have to be like neutral or happy. But later on, for me as student, like even during the lunch hour, when I am angry of the lecturer, if I got a low mark or anything, I will go well in the same time like I'm angry or like I don't like the marks that I got. That's why we make it like before we coming to the work, and like when you go to the break, and also when you go back to your home. So these three times, like we're comparing like between the morning when you come from the house, and later on when you end your work. So if they unhappy after finishing their work, it's mean like they have some problems or facing some problems. And also the entrance and the lunch break places, like most of employees will be passed by this. If we just want to make it everywhere, like we have to add a lot of cameras,
Okay.
and like to make it in the lunch break and the entrance, because like everyone in the company will just move and walk on it like three times in a day.
I have a possible solution for you there if you're interested. So you don't have to add more cameras, of course, because interestingly, during the pandemic, companies issue a lot of laptops with webcams. So
Mm.
you have an inbuilt, um, every person have a personalized webcam. So if the company
By
issued
default.
laptop, yes, by default. So if the company issued laptop is installed with something like your software, you would have a lot
Yeah.
of camera to feed the data. All
Yes,
detail.
but something is not privacy. Some of them they don't like it. Like even like if I use the laptop to the work, then I go back to my home to continue working. I will not open it because I know the company will watch me inside the house.
Or they will
Yes.
just put a sticker, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
on
I
the
do.
camera.
That's what I do.
Yes, all of us.
Okay. I think that's it
Okay.
for me. Okay. All the best, both of
Thank
you.
you very
Thank you.
much.
So thank you very much, Mr. Khairul. Now we will proceed with the commentary session with Mr. Zain.
Hi. Okay. I like your presentation. Good job, you guys. So I acknowledge that what you're trying to solve here is to try and get the emotional feel for a company, right? Because your focus was on the workplace. Although I see good potential in this, but my suggestion for your way forward is to actually consider doing it in a smaller scale. Smaller scale, by that I mean we do not have to link individual IDs or personnels to the faces, because that will just increase the complexity of the project. So what we can do in the very beginning is just to have a general feel by having your solution in place, like you suggested in the entry gateway and also the exit gateway and also at the cafeteria or some other places. So that would provide the company with some level of indicator on what is the general emotional status of the company. So I think that would be a more approachable way forward for this project. I commend that you want to integrate more devices to improve the accuracy of your data, such as the brainwave reader and also the heart rate detector. Now, to that, I would just like to add that most people who wear wearables like smartwatches and things like that, some of those devices already have stress level indicators. So maybe one way forward is to try and get in touch with those type of companies and then have some kind of collaboration if possible to extract that kind of data from them. So that will save you a lot of the groundwork, because you don't want to build something that's already working well. So all you have to do is just connect with the right people to get the right data to improve the accuracy. So I definitely like your solution, and I think it is a viable application that could be implemented. Although what the previous judge highlighted, Mr. Khairul, about the data privacy, that is very real. And we do not want to have this feeling of the people who are being watched as they go through our hardware solution, that they are feeling uncomfortable. So that is some level of assurance that needs to be in place. Even though you mentioned, Jamila, that the emails or the messages will only be sent to HR, but you must always think that that is a data pipeline, and any data pipeline that is not secured could be infiltrated. So if it comes to that, then we must have some kind of measures in place so that personal information does not get abused, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, from another point of view, your solution is mostly based on installing hardware and software on the premise itself. Like you mentioned, you need to install a laptop at the entry gateway, and then you would have a camera that you would put in addition to the cameras that may already be there. You know, as you go into office places or into commercial buildings, you will find CCTVs looking at people coming in and out. Okay, so maybe you might want to consider your approach towards integrating those kind of information or those kind of infrastructure that are already there to be used and then fed into your application, that not necessarily be hosted on premise. It could also be hosted on the cloud, because with your application being hosted in the cloud, you can have accessibility to that cloud from anywhere. So you don't have to keep installing that application at every single gateway, every single cafeteria, every single place that you want to have this survey done. Yeah. So those are my comments. Yeah, and good luck with your project. I hope you will go far with it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you very much, dear judges, and thank you very much to Luai and Jamila. I hope all of the feedbacks that you get from the judges just now can help you maybe to help your directions after this with your project. Okay, so actually I really like Luai and Jamila's intention. They just want everyone around them happy. Okay. Alright. And I can see the
That's
comment
true.
right there. Ahani said she will be the most happiest when she's at the office pantry because I know she likes to eat. So actually we're pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay. When it comes to eating, we're happy. But when it comes to work, yes, of course, there's a stress moment and here and there, but then that's just how we deal with everyday working routine. So now so thank you very much, Luai and
Okay, thank
Jamila.
you.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
And after this, we will have the next team. The next team will be X-Wing. And in X-Wing, we have Muhammad Izzuddin bin Suratman, and we also have Muhammad Aidil bin Muhammad Taib. So both Izzuddin and Aidil, please open your camera, yeah? Please show me your handsome faces.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Good morning.
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning. Apa kabar kamu? Okey kah?
Khabar baik.
So, where are you viewing this from right now?
Campus. Our
Campus.
university campus.
Oh, you stay at the
Pekan Pahang.
campus. Ah, okay, okay. Both of you.
Yep.
Next door or different
Yeah.
building?
Next door.
Okay, so easy for you to discuss,
Yeah.
right? So let's say if one of your friend are missing from the line, you can ketok pintu dia. All right? Okay. So for X-Wing member team, who will be sharing the screen?
Me. ID.
Okay. Before that, we would like to show you the video first. Then only
Okay.
then we will proceed with Ideal and Izzuddin. Will that be okay? All right. We will show the video first. Just take a short break, and then we will get back with second team. So stay tuned, guys, and roll the video.
Hai dan selamat sejahtera para robotiers. Saya Farhana. Selamat kembali ke siri tutorial robotik bersama dengan Petrosains. Kalau dalam episod sebelum ini, kita telah pun menerangkan tentang komponen terpenting iaitu microcontroller Arduino. Jadi dalam episod ini, kita akan sambung bercerita mengenai software ataupun perisian yang kita akan gunakan sepanjang episod ini iaitu M-Block 5. Apa itu M-Block? Anda pernah dengar tentang M-Block atau perkataan M-Block? M-Block ini adalah satu software ataupun alat perisian pengaturcaraan STEM yang direka untuk sesiapa sahaja yang baru ingin berjinak-jinak dengan pengaturcaraan ataupun coding. Ia dibangunkan berdasarkan kod Scratch dan juga Arduino. Ia menyokong bahasa pengaturcaraan berasaskan blok dan juga teks. Anda boleh memuat turun M-Block 5 melalui laman web secara percuma. Jadi, untuk kita programkan robot motif ini, kita perlu buat satu sambungan khusus yang mana kita boleh dapatkan di dalam aplikasi software tersebut. Jadi apabila kita membuka aplikasi M-Block ini, kita boleh add extension, tambahkan di dalam aplikasi ini robot motif tersebut yang mana kita boleh dapati di dalam device library ini. Kalau kita tengok di dalam ini ada pelbagai jenis komponen ataupun robot. Jadi untuk episod kita akan menggunakan robot motif. Jadi jom kita cari di mana robot motif di dalam device library ini. Okey, kita dah jumpa. Jadi ini adalah dia motif 2021. Jadi kita just klik OK. Kita akan loading, ambil masa sikit. Yes, and you are all set. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, setelah kita sambungkan motif di dalam aplikasi ini, kita akan tengok segala blok-blok yang tersedia. Okey, blok-blok ini adalah siri-siri ataupun set arahan, block of instruction yang mana kita akan sambung-sambungkan sekejap lagi berdasarkan apakah aplikasi ataupun arahan yang kita ingin robot ini lakukan. Jadi setelah anda selesai membuat sambungan kepada aplikasi M-Block 5 bersama dengan robot anda telah bersedia untuk memulakan pengekodan ataupun pengaturcaraan. Jadi, teruskan bersama dengan kami kerana selepas ini kita akan belajar lebih lanjut tentang pengaturcaraan. Jumpa anda di episod seterusnya. Bye-bye Robotiers.
Hai, saya Iqmal.
Saya Intan. Hari ni kita berada dekat UMP Pekan. So Mal, kita nak buat apa hari ni?
Okey, jadi hari ni kita nak bawa korang berjalan-jalan dekat seluruh kawasan UMP Pekan ni.
So jom kita buat korang pusing. Sekarang ni kami berdua berada di Chancellery Tun Abdul Razak.
Dan bangunan yang megah berdiri inilah Nadi Pentadbiran University.
Dalam bangunan yang megah ni ada jabatan-jabatan apa je?
Antara jabatan-jabatan yang ada adalah pejabat naib Chancellor, pejabat timbalan-timbalan naib Chancellor.
Ada juga jabatan pendaftar, jabatan bendahari dan lain-lain. So sekarang ni jom kita masuk tengok apa jadi kat dalam ni.
Jom. Alright geng, tadi kita orang nak bawa korang tengok bangunan pentadbiran kan? Okey, sekarang ni kita orang nak bawa korang pula pergi ke bangunan tempat kita belajar, iaitu fakulti. Dan belakang kita orang ni pula adalah Fakulti Teknologi Kejuruteraan Elektrik dan Elektronik. Dan bangunan sana tu pula bangunan apa Tan?
Yang bersebelahan dengan fakulti ni adalah Fakulti Teknologi Kejuruteraan Mekanikal dan Automotif. Tahu tak, dalamnya ada banyak kemudahan yang disediakan untuk pelajar-pelajar tau. Antaranya kita ada kuliah, dewan kuliah untuk pelajar melakukan kuliah lah, dewan perbincangan, kita ada makmal dan ada banyak lagi kemudahan lain. Contohnya Ding, kalau kita lapar ke, tak cukup duit ke, kat mana?
Untuk fakulti-fakulti ni pula kita ada menyediakan ATM bagi pelajar-pelajar yang nak keluarkan duit tu. And kalau korang lapar waktu tengah hari, jangan risau. Setiap fakulti ni ada kafe diorang yang tersendiri. So korang tak perlulah jalan jauh-jauh untuk makan waktu lunch tu.
Betul tu.
Okey, jadi sekarang ni kita nak bawa korang pula tengok saya punya fakulti. Okey, jom. Sampai kat kita ya.
Kita kat mana ni?
Kalau korang nak tahu, inilah fakulti aku. Fakulti Teknologi Kejuruteraan Pembuatan dan Mekatronik. Inilah tempat aku belajar.
So, kau nak bawa jalan-jalan pusing-pusing tak?
Jomlah. Jom
kita tengok. kau selalu tak datang sini?
Mestilah. Kau tak hampir tiap hari aku kampung dekat sini tau.
Baguslah. Kalau tak boleh digelar sebagai mahasiswa lah kau tak selalu datang sini.
Betul. Setuju sangat.
Hai, sekarang kita dah sampai di kompleks Dewan Kuliah Utama.
Yang boleh menempatkan sekitar 300 orang.
Dan yang di sebelah kanan kita ada Pusat Bahasa dan Pusat Sains Kemanusiaan.
Dan sebelah kiri kita ada Pusat Teknologi Maklumat dan Komunikasi. Ini merupakan fakulti terbaru di UMP Kampus Pekan.
Sebelum ini, fakulti ini telah beroperasi di kampus Gambang. Fakulti ini bernama
Fakulti Komputeran. Ini adalah antara salah satu tempat yang wajib untuk korang tahu, sama ada untuk diri korang ataupun untuk kawan-kawan korang yang sedang mengalami masalah kesihatan.
Tak kisahlah kalau korang ada sakit perut ke, korang demam ke, pening kepala, apa-apa saja masalah kesihatan sama ada kecemasan ataupun tidak, korang boleh datang di
Pusat Kesihatan Universiti.
Sekarang ni kita orang berada di bangunan hitam oren iaitu Pusat Aktiviti Pelajar.
Dekat tempat ni jugalah, dekat ground floor ada tempat untuk korang lepak. Tempat-tempat ni lah kita akan guna untuk buat assignment, study group, discussion. Dan tempat ni sentiasa terbuka untuk pelajar 24 jam.
Habis kalau kita lapar ke macam mana?
Dekat belakang sana ada kafe. Kalau kita nak keluarkan duit pula, dekat tengah-tengah sana ada ATM. Banyak kemudahan yang kita sediakan.
Habis tu, kat mana masjid?
Sebab kita nak tunjuk lagi kan. Dekat PAP ni, dekat tingkat 3 ada sediakan satu masjid yang sangat-sangat besar yang boleh memuatkan ramai orang. And sangat selesa untuk kita menunaikan ibadah.
Betul. Dan di sebelah kanan dan kiri Pusat Aktiviti Pelajar ni, kita ada Kolej Kediaman 5 untuk pelajar-pelajar menginap.
Sekarang kita dah penat bawa korang jalan-jalan. Dah tiba masa pula untuk kita orang nak makan.
Dan bagi semua pelajar yang akan mendaftar masuk universiti, selamat datang dan selamat menjalani kehidupan sebagai mahasiswa. Jom makan apa ni?
So everyone, welcome back to Varsity-Innovation Varsity category. And with X-Wing team, just now they already come onto the stage. We will proceed with their presentation after this later. But actually at the Q&A session, we got one question from the audience saying that, is it international? Maybe Mr. Wong, can you please elaborate your question? What do you mean by what are you referring to the international part is? Okay, so now we want to get to know our participants. Who's going to share the screen? Siapa mau share screen nanti?
Ideal.
Okay, so Ideal, you can just do any setup that you need to do. And in the meantime, I'll just ask you question here and there. And Izzuddin and Ideal, which university you come from?
From
UMP.
UMP. So that means the video just now is your video, right? But I kind of missed it. Did it show your faculty?
Yes, it shows.
Yes.
Which faculty are you?
We from Faculty Electric and Electronics.
Electric and electronic. I see. Okay. So how are you guys feeling being one of the finalists in RBTX Varsity?
Of course, a little bit nervous.
It's okay. It's okay. That's normal. How about only nervous? No other feelings like, yeah, I'm the best. No, no. You don't have that kind of feeling?
We humble.
Okay, okay. I accept that. I accept that answer. You guys are the humble students from UMP, right? Okay. Are you guys ready to proceed with the
Yeah, you can see
presentation?
my presentation slide.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I will hand over the stage to both Izudin and Aidil. Okay.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning to our judges and to our judges. My name is Muhammad Aidil and my partners is Muhammad Izzuddin. We are from X-Wing team from University Malaysia Pahang, and our supervisor is Dr. Nurul Aslina binti Nordin. And our title for this project is PPE detection in industrial sector. For the background, protective equipment (PPE) is usually adopted to protect the individual against health or safety risks at work. It include item related with protection of head, face, eye, hand, arm and leg. The idea to create the PPE detection to ensure that each employee
I'm
will
sorry, Aidil. Can
yeah.
you put your presentation in the
Oh,
slide mode? Yeah.
this I already put in slide mode. You can see.
Mm, because I can still see the list of slides on the
Oh,
left hand side. Yeah.
yes.
Can try to
Wait.
share again. It's okay. Take your time, Ideal. So, is it? Are you in your university? Is it holiday now? Today?
And no, we
I'm. Yeah. It's
after
still.
we are after MISEM,
Oh, okay,
we are
okay.
there after MISEM, so we take.
For now, you can see the slide in what?
Oh, not yet, Ideal.
Oh, wait.
If maybe Izudin can,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe Izzuddin.
interfere. Yeah, you can also share the screen. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Just take your time with the slides. So, Ideal, I can see that title of your presentation just now, the PPE detection.
Yep.
What inspire you to choose that topic?
Firstly, I want to make a computer vision system like image processing
Mm-hmm.
because we learn in, uh, interacting with Dr. Zul in the
Dr.
boot camp.
Zul.
He's just doing face
Ah,
recognition. So it's interact hours as to do a project like this.
that's how you
Yeah,
got that ideas, right?
yeah.
Okay, good job, Team X Wing. So, just for your information, guys, Petrosains RBTX Challenge. Let's talk about RBTX a little bit. So, Petrosains RBTX Challenge is an event. It's actually an initiative started by Petrosains to provide a universal platform for all walks of life to explore, to share their interests, their knowledge about the advancement of technology, especially particularly related to robotics. So basically, this event we want to give the opportunity to all people out there, regardless of your background in robotics or coding or programming, the accessibility to access the resources of robotics through open source platform and everything, and also that you everyone can learn robotics and coding and programming regardless of your knowledge about those fields. And then the pilot edition of RBTX challenge actually started in 2018. So in 2018 we only have four categories, not like this day we have more than like how many categories do we have today? We have the innovation, and even for innovation, we have other branch of innovation like varsity, advanced engineer. So the same goes for robot tracer, robot sumo, and also for yeah for both of those category. So and so is are you okay, Izudin? Not yet.
Uh,
Okay, okay. Okay, now I can see yours, but
this is
why is it
slide movie.
why, why is it like flipping between pages?
Uh, so
Yeah.
it is moving, right?
Okay, okay, sir. All right.
Alright.
Okay, okay. So okay, enough talk. I will hand the stage to both Izudin and Aidil.
Okay, we back again. So we start again with our background. Izudin, please. Okay, so personal protective equipment (PE) is usually adopted to protect the individual against health or safety risks at work. It includes items related with protection of head, face, eye, hand, arm, and leg. The idea to create the PPE detector to ensure that each employee will appropriate PPE, especially in industrial sector, by making a real-time monitoring system in workplace. Next is a problem statement. PPE is a closest layer of protection for employees and can significantly lower the chance of exposure to the dangers, making it vital for industrial safety. According to the record of Department of Occupational Safety and Health Malaysia, recorded highest number of death cases or occupational accident by sector until August 2021 show the construction and manufacturing sector become a largest contributor in this statistic with 48 and 30 for numbers of deaths. In addition, from the Irish Sun, 15 April 2019 published the Sanjay Bahi 2000 years old construction worker was left with a steel rod split his head after he fell down during some repair work construction site in India because he not wearing a safety helmet. So next is our solution. By using a machine learning and computer vision, we can develop an algorithm that can detect the equipment such as a helmet, safety glasses, face mask, and other garment are checked for the whether they are being used by operator in a real-time monitoring for the company. Uh, Alerting supervisor and to prevent incident and ensure a safer environment. For the our journey, I will pass to Izidin.
Okay, for our journey, of course, we're doing some research that related to the object detection, and our source is from thesis and YouTube. So there are several attempts that we try, which is the first attempt we try to collect the image from the webcam, and make a custom of the dataset and clusters it and label the image into XML file. But unfortunately, cannot continue the progress because of limited laptop storage to install CUDA and CUDNN, which is big software to install, and it cannot uh, it will akan penuhkan storage laptop situ. Okay, seterusnya next and the second attempt we tried is using the face mask dataset that we try to replace from the PPE section. So we take your face mask for our first second attempt, and then we classify the dataset, which is the face mask and no face mask, and then we resize it. Then we store data, then apply a deep learning into the model. And using the sarcastic classifier to detect the face, which is when we wear the mask, we detect the face, and which is the face wearing a face mask or no, not wearing face mask. But with some issue, uh, we get the result, which is it detect the face, but it cannot detect the face mask. And our last attempt is by using the dataset helmet detection that we get from the GitHub. which is we download the pre-trained wake MS Coco dataset, which is mobile net, and test on the video. Either we get the result, it uh, detect the helmet, as you can see in this video. So this the result for the our third third attempt. So we play the video. For our result, it is showing that there is no helmet, or person wear helmet or not wearing a helmet. So it's some video that I get from the YouTube. So you can see it detect the helmet and the accuracy, showing the accuracy of the helmet. So the result. And then so our general programming is this is programming for second attempt that we classify the data set, which is for face mask and non face mask, and then we resize it to the certain value, which is 224 times 224, and we process the and read the all the image inside the folder, which is the data set, and you can see the total of about 2000 images is stored. And then we make it random to training to prevent the it learn to in sequence. And uh, and then as you can see in the by using the pre-trained model, and when doing the model assembly, which is it get total parameter around 4 million parameter. So and then when we try to turning and with the model using the sigmoid, and then we set in the binary classification, which is face mask and no face mask. So the process of training will take some time. So this result for second attempt that I will try, which is using the hard cascade classifier that detect the face around the face. So the result, fortunately, when we wear a mask, it not detect that we wear a mask. So this is a result. And then there's several challenges to make this project, which is when someone not wearing a PPE or helmet or safety glass or something in the site, we want to make that camera will detect the the person that not wearing and alert to the supervisor. So the challenge that we want to make is to alert the supervisor using this uh, website. So by using this website, which is a push bullet, the disadvantage is the device that connect must only Android, because the other device must install the application of this push bullet and will apply to the Python, and the alert will give to the uh, application at the Android device. So the advantage of this for using this website. And then another option that we can use to alert the supervisor or someone that responsible at the site, which is Seams website, because it can push notification to our device by using the number phone, which is we can take the API and ID and apply to recording. But unfortunately, we can achieve result because uh, there's several uh, halangan untuk give the alert to the supervisor. So for impact to society, I will pass to the my friend Eddie.
Thank you, Zidane. For the impact to society, first it will increase the employees' awareness. With this technology, employees will be more concerned and compliant about the importance of using PPE in their workplace. Next, manage a changing IT environment. The introduction of wireless device and cloud technologies enabling the industrial revolution 4.0 can be realized and many critical processes to be faster and sleeker. And lastly, we can reducing the number of death cases when all employees have complied and are aware of the importance of the use of PPE in the workplace. Case of death and accident in the workplace can be reduced some extent. For the next slide is then please. This project significant and SDG related. First is number 8, decent work and economic growth. This will opening up opportunity for young programmers to develop the technology and indirectly provide employment opportunities in the field of computer vision and image processing. And number 9 is industry innovation and infrastructure. Our industry can be upgraded through machine learning and computer vision help industrial sector to alert about the importance of PPE in workplace even for the simple work. But lastly is commercial viability. First is high demand. The rapid development of several industrial sector has led the highest demand. For example, in the healthcare sector, they are using our own PPE while facing the pandemic. And lastly is collaboration. By collaborating with a government or non-government organization can expand its use in the sector, another sector that require real-time monitoring technology such as Sky and TeamViewer and others. And that's all for ours. Thank you.
So thank you, Ideal, and thank you, Ezudin, for the presentation just now. That was an interesting presentation about how they want to help reduce the problem where people refuse to wear or maybe forgot to wear their PPE, right? So now we would like to invite all of the judges onto the stage for this session. We're going to have Mr. Khairul and Mr. Zain Isma and Mr. Tariq onto the stage and to interact with both of Ideal and Izudin. So we will start with the Q&A session. The first session will be Q&A that comes from Mr. Cairo. Mr. Cairo, maybe you would like to open your camera first? Yeah, okay. So, all right. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Aidil and Izudin, thank you for your presentation. Your use of computer vision is very needed in the workplace today. Um, uh, if may I know the solution that you are proposing? Um, do you um, have other competitors that you know of that have provided similar solutions? And if you know of them, what are the unique selling points of your solutions compared to other competitors?
Mm.
Yeah, doing the other research, we find some similarities in another projects. Forgot the names for the projects, but in their projects, they can detect several PPE in one camera, which means we doing a face mask detector only and also a helmet detector only. But another project it can include the safety jacket, goggles, and helmet in one time. So I think it's a competitor then can be.
Okay. And the other one, what would be the competitive edge if you were to start a company and your own solutions?
So I think for the solution, uh, if we find that other company that applying this contribution, I think the solution that we can make the detection more precise, which is the accuracy of this object more higher than the other company or that using this contribution algorithm. This is from can get we try to get the accuracy for this the object to detect.
Okay. I that's all from me, Haniza.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anshik Khairul. So now let's start with the next Q&A by Mr. Zain.
Hi. Assalamualaikum, Adil and Izzuddin.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam.
Okay, I like your presentation. It is very relevant to the oil and gas industry because we have to ensure the safety of everyone working on site or offshore or even in the work area in the office. Everyone must be safe because safety is a very high concern in the oil and gas industry, specifically in Petronas. So I like your approach in making use of visual analytics to try and take a look at who is wearing the proper PPE or whether they are not wearing it, and then someone would be informed of this violation, right? So in that sense, I noticed in your presentation you showed that the mask detection did not really work quite well, right?
Yeah.
So moving forward, how do you think you would improve this detection? Because I understand that sometimes it is the sample that you are using or the reference that you are using to make that detection, and sometimes these samples that are offered online are mostly skewed towards Caucasian countries where they are mostly fair people, and then for dark colored people they have a different type of detection, and it doesn't work that well. Can you elaborate on the way forward, please?
Okay. For my opinion, the detection uh, related to the classifier that we take, which is the classifier that we use in the algorithm, which is the hard cascade classifier. There are another type of classifier in that we can use, which is each type of classifier that will provide the higher frame rate per second, which is the higher the frame rate, the detection will more it will detect the object in the camera. So there's some first the classifier, which is main peranan juga dalam satu algorithm. So selain itu juga antaranya the coding must be uh, what we call related. We must apa nama itu, the coding must be sync with the other variable or something that we applying to the system. So this is my opinion. To
Okay, thank you for the explanation on the way forward. Now, my second question is currently we already have very high interest in this, like I mentioned just now, and Petronas ourselves, we are also working on something like this. So, how do you feel that you need to position your solution to companies like Petronas and other companies that might be of interest in applying PPE? Like your focus just now was on construction sites. So maybe how would you define your differentiating factor, or what is the value that you bring to competitors or existing application? Yeah, can you elaborate on that?
Can you repeat this question again?
Okay, so a bit the basic
Unclear.
idea of my question is how is your application different from the existing
I see.
solutions out there? What is your plus point? What is your strong point in selling this solution to your potential customers?
Maybe about the costing, because we do some not using the appropriate camera, but still using the webcam. But I think after using the proper camera, I think the project can be more successful. So I think this is it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we will proceed with a commentary session with Mr. Tariq. Okay.
Thank you very much, Adil and Izuddin, for your wonderful presentation. It was quite interesting to see that the young generation now are more interested in computer vision and trying to apply it for the safety of our labor, and especially in dangerous industries. We're talking about oil and gas. As one of the sectors, we have a lot of HSA related issues. It's actually a pain point, and you are in the right track. This is the first thing. So to tackle this, I guess it's always related to either poor maintenance or poor execution. For example, not wearing PPE or forgetting it. So both of them can actually be resolved by such applications that the one you are actually offering, like computer vision based. So maintenance, trying to check when things need to be replaced, and for execution, detecting people if they have issues. So well done on the subject itself. And the market is quite open actually. There are some companies out there offering solutions, but I don't think it's too late. You are still there and you still can make a competitive edge starting from now. So if I may give some suggestions for your way forward, starting from the commercialization strategy. So I didn't hear you how you want to commercialize it, but you should start thinking about that. Once you develop your solution, the strategy that you commercialize to the market is very crucial for you to be successful. Some people would offer it like a whole model sales, like you give them and then they do whatever they want, and that can be a little bit expensive in as initial cost. But a lot of people nowadays are trying to offer solutions as a service. You offer them your software or even your hardware as a service, so they can they pay you kind of a rental. So every month they pay. If they don't want, it's on demand. They can unsubscribe, which is a benefit for both, for you, continuous income, and for them, it would be cheaper depending on their usage. uh, I would suggest also try to make it as customized as possible. You don't have to stick to a certain hardware. It doesn't have to be a camera that you provide. It could be their own CCTV if they already have one. And I remember within our team, we already tried to utilize drones. So basically, if they have a drone that has a camera, you would be glad to integrate with it and run your software. So it's a win-win for all. Uh, Deployment strategy is another thing that you have to look at. How would you want to deploy your software? Do you require them to install a computer on their premise, or you want to run it in the cloud, which is quite popular nowadays? Of course, my suggestion would be to go for the cloud. It's cheaper for you and easier for them as well to utilize. Maybe you can work a little bit later on after you finalize all the technical details on some dashboard for them. They can look at the analytics, how many incidents, how many people are not wearing face masks in this area. So maybe you can send someone to enforce. So these are quite useful, and it will help you to actually sell your technology by saying, okay, there are these numbers of people in this area are not, abiding by the HSE requirements. And always have some continuous feedback to your technology. It's a computer vision AI. You always need more data, right? So now I hear that you might have issues. Maybe the data set is not good enough. It's not suitable for the market that you are trying to sell. Why not we just try to develop the software such that any new data can be used? You update the model, which is quite good in that case. Of course, as I mentioned, the way the camera or the solution you deploy in terms of hardware, you can try to make it open. So people would be happy to use your software if they want. They buy your hardware if you have your own camera. That would be very good. And maybe you should expand a little bit in the technical aspects. I know now you're focused into detections, but you can actually go more. There are a lot of PPE non-compliance that you try to detect. For instance, detecting the harness when people work at height. If they don't wear the harness, basically if they fall, that's it for them. So that's very important. Authorized access. People try to sneak into areas where they're not supposed to be. This is a very good application for you to explore. Vehicle speed detection. Some people like working and they speed up. Oh, why don't you utilize it for your own software? Just collect data and add it. So there are a lot of detections that you can add, and the more you add, the more interested the consumers will be. You can even expand. Why only PPE? Detect. It's a computer vision, right? Data in, insights out. Expand it to detections, or say for maintenance applications, you want to detect corrosion. Well, that's another software variant from you that you can sell for you can maybe sell by detection. I want these 5 detections. There you go. This is the cost. You want 20. Here you go. You want your own? Fine. Bring your data, and we will train a model for you, and you have it. So I believe that you have a potential there. So just form your team, open up your startup, and go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tariq. So for your information, guys, Mr. Tariq is a robotics and AI engineer from Petronas. So I think the insights from Mr. Tariq will be very, very important to help maybe Izudin and Ideal after this to, to further improve their projects. Okay, so after this, we will play a video from our partners. Before that, I would like to remind Team Robocore, your turn will be after this. So make sure that you introduce yourself at the chat room, and we will play the video by partners. So please roll the video.
Hai dan selamat sejahtera para robotiers. Saya Farhana. Selamat kembali ke siri tutorial robotik bersama dengan Petrosains. Kalau dalam episod sebelum ini, kita telah pun berjaya memasang perisian ataupun software M-Block 5 dan seterusnya memasukkan extension atau sambungan yang diperlukan terus kepada robot motif kita ini. Dalam episod ini, kita akan belajar pula mengenai apakah itu output bagi robot motif. Adakah anda sudah bersedia? Jom kita mulakan. Apakah itu output? Output itu adalah sebenarnya tindak balas robot berdasarkan arahan yang kita berikan kepadanya seperti fungsi LED dan juga pergerakan motor. Sebagai contoh, output LED dapat dinyalakan sekiranya kita berikan arahan kepada robot motif ini dan boleh dinyalakan dan juga dimatikan, ataupun fungsi motor sama ada boleh dipusingkan mengikut arah-arah tertentu seperti lawan jam ataupun arah jam, yang seterusnya akan menentukan sama ada robot ini bergerak ke hadapan ataupun ke belakang. Jadi sebenarnya terdapat dua jenis output yang kita gunakan untuk robot motif ini, iaitu digital dan juga analog. Apakah itu output digital? Output digital adalah di mana anda hanya mempunyai dua pilihan yang boleh anda lakukan, sama ada seperti hidup atau mati, ataupun on and off, ataupun kosong dan satu, ataupun zero or one. Sebagai contoh, kita tengok kalau dekat rumah, persekitaran kita, sekiranya kita ingin menyalakan lampu, kan? Okey, kita ada dua pilihan, sama ada kita on ataupun off lampu, sama ada kita buka ataupun kita padamkan lampu. Manakala output analog adalah di mana anda mempunyai pilihan untuk menentukan julat ataupun range. Sama seperti sekiranya anda ingin memasak dan menggunakan oven, anda boleh menyelaras suhu yang anda ingin gunakan bagi memasak makanan anda. Anda telah pun belajar tentang definisi dan asas output. Teruskan setia bersama kami kerana selepas ini kita akan belajar lebih lanjut berkenaan dengan output. Dalam episod seterusnya, kita akan memulakan pengaturcaraan ataupun coding ke dalam robot motif. Jumpa anda di episod seterusnya. Bye-bye Robotiers!
So, welcome back, everyone. Together with me, Haniza, a moderator for today's Innovation Varsity category. So, the next group, like I already called just now, Team Robocore. So, Team Robocore, we have Muhammad Muzaffar Irfan bin Muhammad Hairul Anwar, and the next member is Farah Herlina binti Muhammad Zin. So welcome onto the stage. Hello, Muzaffar. Hi. Hello,
Hi.
Farah. How are you guys
Hi,
doing?
hello. We are doing
Okay.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So you guys also at the campus?
Yes.
Oh,
Both of Yes. us.
okay. So which university are you from?
University Malaysia
Pahang.
Pahang.
Oh, that means your friend. Do you know both your friend just now, the X-Wing team?
Yes.
You guys know each other personally?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there are two groups, two teams from UMP today. So for Team Robocall, who are going to share the screen?
Me. I will share the
Okay, so
screen.
Farah, you can proceed sharing your slides, and make sure it is in a slide presentation mode.
Okay.
And while waiting, okay, I'll just have a chat with Muzaffar meanwhile. So Muzaffar, both of you, have you ever done any innovation project before this RBTX?
Before this, I never done any innovation project.
Oh, that means this is your first time.
Yeah, first time
So what?
join.
Okay. So are you having fun doing innovation project?
Yeah, actually, I having a lot of fun to be honest. Since
Ah,
yeah, from high school, I tried to program, but
okay. So that means this would be a very memorable journey for both Farah and Muzaffar. How about Farah? Is this your first time as well doing innovation project?
Actually, during my study also, I this is my second
Oh,
project.
okay. So I think you guys are ready to to start with the pitching.
Can you see my slide right now?
Okay, good. Is it all right? Because I can see the bar down there, but this is in a
Oh,
slide mode, right?
okay. Yes. Wait. Okay.
Okay, all right, good. So you guys, Farah and Muzaffar, you can proceed with the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Farah Helena binti Mak Zain and my teammate is Muhammad Muzaffar Irfan bin Muhammad Hairul Anwar. So we are from Roboco team. We also from University Malaysia Pahang, and our title is Virtual Health Assistant. So let me proceed to a problem statement. So do you know what is medication error? According to to the National Coordinating Council for Medication Error Reporting and Prevention, a medication error is defined as any preventable event that may cause or lead to inappropriate medication use or patient harm while the medication is in the control of the healthcare professional, patient, or consumer. So every year, medication error leads to many major problems to patients. Therefore, this project came as purpose to reduce any negative effect from medication error by using an artificial neural network. So artificial neural network used for monitoring the right medication is taken for patient. So each year in the United States alone, 7,000 to 9,000 people die as a result of medication error. So additionally, hundreds of thousands of other patients experience but often do not report as adverse reaction or other medication complication. So the total cost of looking after patient with medication associated error exceeds $40 billion each year. In addition to the monetary cost, patients experience psychological and physical pain and suffering as a result of medication error. So our project is created to prevent a medication error, which is always happen within a society. So for the solution, I will pass to my teammate.
Okay, thank you. I would like to continue with the solution. So today there is a vision for the computer to make a judgment, right? It will know based on the certain data. So here's come the solution. The train model will divide the pill based on the two category, which is according to the colors and the shapes of the pills or tablet. So this will be the main reference for the train model to the execute the program. Okay. So I will continue the slide by Farah.
So next slide is benefit to community. So first, we could apply machine learning and artificial neural network to help people, especially the older one, to recognize the right medicine to avoid any medication error. So, and that is the first point. So second, to prevent chronic disease from getting worse by ensuring patients do not pick the wrong medication. And then work as a guidelines and advice where our system can easily be accessed at any time. And then user also could find our details and information about their medication by scanning the picture of medicine. So our project could interpret the names of the medication. Medicine, I'm sorry. So, and then the last one is to reduce the burden of pharmacists in sorting and recognizing medication for every patient. So that is benefit to our community. So for the next slides, I will continue. So SDG related to our project is three, which is a good health and well-being. So our aim is to have the best healthcare virtual assistant that offer a new technology in assisting users to know their medication well. This could prevent chronic disease or death by allowing people to access their medication more quickly and easily. We want to produce a society in a good physical and mental condition. So and then nine is industry, innovation, and infrastructure, which is our idea is to bring innovation to help more people recognize the medicine. So and in additional, our project also use the expired medicine sample as a data set. So next is a flow chart, which is this is our flow chart. So first image of medicine is taken by patient, which is they need to have an image of the medicine, and then also we use a camera in this project, and the camera must detect the picture or pill that patient show, and then if the camera is detect the pill, so the name of the medicine is displayed. So all the information of medicine is sent to patient, and then if not, the if not, a camera input will display like cannot detect the medicine, so the patient need to uh, show again, or maybe need to fix the image. And then continue with the model work. So I will pass to Muzaffar to explain this.
Okay, so I will continue the session by how the model works. First, the artificial neural network will use the module provided to recognize the image. The model will start rotating the images by 90 degrees for each face. The model will start increase the saturation and lighting to get the best reading for the model. The model will save the data. So here, right here, we are plan to do a saturation to train using the photos taken. We're gonna do a saturation and lighting since the train model need a lot more conditions to provide the data set for the train model. Okay, on the next. So this is the model. This is the confusion matrix. The development of the project is this is the confusion matrix of the true label to predicted label. Okay, so for the next slide. Okay, so how the model or apps work. So first of all, we set up the backend using TensorFlow. Provided data will be changed into binary data. The print losses and accuracy. The image will be processed using OpenCV. The provided data, the provided provide data provide data through the provided path. The data will be test, and finally the result will be stored in DB format using a pickle DB module to be used for the next session. Okay, so here is the rough of the screenshot of the project, the app to be specific. So okay, but next slide. So we have faced many challenges in during our project. So the first of all is most of the module are incompatible with Python 3.9. So as the solution we need to install the older version of Python, since I have read some news that say Python 3.9 was so buggy. Okay, so beside that, the second challenge is a very messy and crowded interpreter, and the requirement of the programs are all not the same. So we need to create a virtual environment to use a specific required interpreter. The third one is the Python came with the very latest PIP, causing lot of older module not working. So we need to installing Coda, since Coda came with more compatible version. Okay, the fourth one is the images are too much, causing burden to CPU and process becomes slower since there are a lot of images need to be processed. So as the solution, I have installing NVIDIA CUDA to harness the power of the GPU to use on the programming. Okay, so the last one is unable to connect with GPU since the Coda folder was changed during the latest update. So I need to paste a new command line, which is on the slide. Okay, so for next slide. Okay, so for the project, we have contact pharmacist, which is Nurul Ain binti Muhammad Arok from the Hospital Petrojaya. We have discussed with her to how to apply the project. So since we are very short in the data set, so we have asked her to provide the data set using the expired field like Farah said earlier, to be the sample for the model to learn the process. Okay, so that's all from both of us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Muzaffar. Thank you, Farah. So please give them an applause, a round of applause. So now we will proceed with the Q&A session. We will have on the stage the three judges will be Mr. Zain, Mr. Tariq, and Miss Mimi Suraya. So as usual, we will start with the Q&A session. At this time round, we're going to have Mr. Zain to give questions to both Adik Muzaffar and Farah. It's just Farah. Actually, Kakak cannot see your face that clearly. Can you just put your maybe your laptop a little bit far from your face?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sorry. Okay.
yeah, if possible, maybe like level of your chest, perhaps, because I think even the judges want to see you. Okay, how cute, Adik Farah. Okay, now we will start with Mr. Zain first. Mr. Zain, for the Q&A session.
Yeah, hi, Assalamualaikum. Good presentation. I'm interested that you are trying to solve a problem to ensure that everyone will take the correct medication. There are a few things that I find very interesting, which you mentioned that you use a training model to train your machine learning algorithm. And you mentioned that it can also detect expired medicine. Is that understanding correct? Just to be clear, can it detect expired medication or you are using the expired medication as samples? Can you clarify that for me, please?
We use the expired medication as sample.
Okay, okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Because it will be really, really cool if your algorithm can also detect expired medication. But I know that is very, very difficult because it's not like some fresh goods that will change color or anything like that when the medication expires. Okay, that's fine. So one of your target users for this application would be senior citizens, right? Because you want to make sure that they have the right medication and then that they get better from consuming the right medication. Now, with the operation of this type of apps, especially in the hands of senior citizen, how do you think that you will address their issues? You know, like some senior citizens have difficulty in using the apps. So, what is your way forward on this one? Can you elaborate? Thank you.
Oh. So for usually the older peoples, they usually have a grandkid or grandchildren, right? So like today's kid or teens, they have very useful skills to understanding the app or how the machine works, the app works. So we hope that every their nearest people or even some their son or daughter help the elder to understand the app itself. Since actually it was based on a true story, my grandfather, he has a very hard time registering the apps like my or even those apps. So he came to ask me, even sometime he called me, say like when need to press when need I to insert the information. So based on my experience, the younger people need to help them.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Yeah, and I definitely understand that older citizens have more difficulty in using applications. So it would be good also for the person who are assisting the senior citizens to be able to ensure that they get the right medication. So maybe the way forward that you can think of is to try and incorporate their medication schedule into the app and have this app be available to the person who are assisting the senior citizen. So they both have the same information and the person who is assisting the senior citizen can get the correct medication schedule. So I think that is one way forward of considering uh, your next step in improving your app. Okay, okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zain. So now we will go to the Q&A session by Mr. Tariq. So Mr. Tariq will go for the Q&A session with Adik Farah and Muzaffar.
Hello, Farah Muzaffar. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting presentation. You've got a very good flow of information, and the graphics were quite good. So kudos on that. I like the initiative that you did to contact an SME in a hospital. So that seems like you are very serious into working into this. It's not just a competition. Very good. So I've got just a couple of questions. So you are trying to use images of the bells themselves, not like the packages. Is that correct?
Yes, using the images of pills.
So say in the future, some of the pills might have the same shape and color. Do you have any plan to resolve that?
Oh, so we have planned to contact the we contact the manufacturer,
Mhm.
or because yeah, by the time goes, yeah, the shapes and the colors are changed. So we need to just every year or every month we need to ask the supplier to update to us if there's a lot of changes or toward the shape and colors. But
Okay.
according to my experience, since we doesn't have a Malaysia data set, we use US data set. There's a very specific code on the pills. So people, even by not knowing the pills, can read the code above the pills, right? But
Yeah.
Malaysia doesn't have that system. So I'm hoping that first of all, the manufacturer could upload the photo, and the second one, the labels could be printed on the on the tablet.
Oh, very interesting. So I guess that would resolve the issue. So after that, I didn't hear you talk about the any competition in the market. Has anybody attempted to work on this, at least in Malaysia? And if they happen to, how would you have the edge over them? What's your plan?
So I just to be clear, the question is there is no competition in the company. So what I need to do if there is competition, right? Or
I mean, is there a competition? Have you done any market survey? Any other
or
companies?
so far there is no market competition. I only saw some people who love just to do their by themselves.
Okay, cool. That is a very good opportunity for you then, I guess. Very good. Very interesting, and I wish you good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tariq. So, without further ado, let's proceed with the feedbacks and comments by Miss Nimi Soraya.
All right. Thank you, Muaz, and also Para for the presentation on healthcare virtual assistant. And most of my comments actually relates back to the questions by Mr. Zain and also Mr. Tariq. As for me, when your title is on healthcare, right? So I think healthcare industry is one of the most, I would say, important industry, right, in the world, not just Malaysia, in the world. Therefore, I believe your proposal can be expanded not just to pills, not just on different shapes and colors, but you can also um, add on textures as well, because it's not just limited to pills. There are also liquid in medication, right? So texture might be one of the elements that you might need to look into besides just the sizes and colors of the pills. Okay, and to to add on to the question by Inchi to Mr. Zain just now, I think because we are addressing the senior citizens, right? So before you or your team deploy the apps to the community, why not we try out with a pool of people first to see how well versed they are with the system. For example, now due to COVID, everyone have or must use My Sejahtera, even though they are senior citizens. So I think this is similar to your approach, where your apps can be used by senior citizens. So it means that you have to make it as simple as it is, so that everyone, not just senior citizens, to use for their as their virtual assistant. All right, and maybe you can expand this, or you can try this out at the senior citizens' houses, not just with families, but there are senior folks' homes. So you can try that your apps at those places to get more data for your um, invention. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it from me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Miss Nini. So, thank you to all judges. I hope Adik Farah and Adik Muzaffar, all of the comments, the suggestions, the questions by Mr. Zain, Mr. Tariq, and Miss Nimi Soraya will be very helpful to in the future for you to add more value to your innovation. Okay, so good luck, Adik Farah and Adik Muzaffar. So, okay, after this we have the last group. However, we will start the last group, which will be Team Shinjo at 12 15 a.m. So a.m., not a.m., I'm sorry, p.m. Okay, we're not going to stay this until late midnight. 12:15 p.m. Okay, so we will start with Shinjo team. So Shinjo team, please alert, make yourself present at the chat box, introduce yourself. Okay, so while waiting, let's maybe I will want to chit chat a little bit about our judges just now. One of our judge, which is Mr. Zain Isma, he is the head of data architecture from Petronas PDNT, if any one of you might miss the earlier session. So if I may share a little bit background of our judge, Mr. Zain Isma, his job scope is that he need to establish the IoT architecture to enable the visibility and the availability of a batch of IoT data, the streaming or batch of IoT data at the enterprise level. So this is very important for the enterprise level for analytics application and development, and especially for and or for real-time business reporting. So that's from Mr. Zen, and we also have partner Josh. For partner Josh, we have Mr. Tariq. So Mr. Tariq Aziz Hassan Al Kutami, he is the robotics and AI engineer from Petronas Research. So Mr. Tariq, he is actually one of his job scope is that he need to develop robotics and data analytics solutions for any wide range of gas applications. So from for all participants today, both Mr. Tariq and Mr. Zain, I believe all of their suggestions and feedback for you guys will be able to yes for give some value to your innovation when you want to do any innovation projects in the future. Okay, so because they both of them are the experts and they're actually the on field expertise, so I believe their suggestions and their comments will be very very um, yep, can help you to further improvise your project so that it will become, position yourself among the competitors out there. Maybe it won't be happening right now because you're still students, but who knows later, right? So aside of that, let me share you a little bit about uh, Petrosains. So Petrosains, maybe the name of Petrosains itself is quite familiar since you are here in our RBTX Petrosain RBTX Grand Final Challenge. So Petrosains Sdn Berhad, for your information, is a wholly owned subsidiary of Petronas. So Petrosains Sdn Berhad, it manages two distinctive institutions. The first one is Petrosains, the Discovery Center, and the second one is Petronas Twin Tower Visit Operation. So for Petrosains, the Discovery Center, specifically, it is a science discovery center that commits to provide the nation, especially amongst us, the younger generations, the environment to stimulate their interest and so that it will enhance their STEM literacy, and it will attract their interest to acquire knowledge and skill in scientific skills. So Petrosains Discovery Center, maybe most of you knows that is located at Twin Tower, but do you know that also Petrosains have other mini satellite centers at different states? Like we have here this satellite center for information, we call that Petrosains Play Smart. So we have one Petrosains Play Smart at Kuantan, Pahang, Petrosains Play Smart Kuantan, and it is located within the building of Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Pahang. And then we also have Petrosains Play Smart Johor Bahru. So Petrosains Play Smart Johor Bahru is located within the Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Johor, and we also have one in Sabah, which is Petrosains Play Smart Kota Kinabalu. So Petrosains Play Smart Kota Kinabalu is located within the headquarters of Sabah State Library. And last but not least, we have Play Smart Kuching. We also have one at Sarawak, the newest one, which is located within the complex Dewan Suara Negeri. So if any one of you might visit some of those area, even if you're not in KL, maybe around Pahang or around Sabah, you can come and drop a visit to Petrosains Play Smart. But then don't forget to follow our Facebook, because any information about the operating hours, or maybe there are also some details about entry restriction, so that all of those information will be updated on our official Facebook. Okay, so I think while waiting for our next group, which will be at 12:15 p.m., we will play one video from our partners. So, and to all audience, viewers, no matter where are you viewing this from, take a break. Don't just sit still or here, no matter how exciting this competition is. Please take a break and just go to your kitchen and grab some food and do a little bit of exercise, because after this, when the video play, I'm going to jump around, and because I cannot feel my lower part already. So I hope you guys do the same, because we want to minimize that sedentary lifestyle, right? So we don't want that. So we will proceed with the video. Roll the video.
Animal is a four-legged robot designed to perform autonomous surveillance and inspection. Programmed with obstacle avoidance capability has allowed Animal to work alongside humans safely. It is able to continuously work around the clock without human intervention due to its self-charging capability. Using onboard thermal camera allow Animal to continuously monitor and detect abnormal heat spot on our platform.
Introducing Bike, the internal vessel and tank inspection robot. Bike is a remotely operated robotic crawler with magnetic wheels. It is very agile and can enter confined spaces such as vessels and tanks, as well as travel to hard-to-reach areas. Bike can perform various inspections such as ultrasonic thickness measurements at height. Bike can also perform crack detection of weldments inside vessels and tanks using the eddy current method. This will also bring improvement to the health and safety by eliminating the need for the inspector to enter confined spaces. For external inspection, using in-house engineering talents, we combine commercial drone with UT tools to customize a solution that can provide quality UT measurement in shorter time, while eliminating scaffoldings and improving HSE.
On May 19, 2020, Rwanda launched the use of 5 high-tech robots to fight COVID-19. These robots were donated by the United Nations Development UNDP Rwanda. The robots have the capacity to screen 50 to 150 people per minute, deliver food and medication to patient rooms, capture data and notify officers on duty about detected abnormalities.
Here at the University of Antwerp Hospital, they're doing that through a robot. We were given a QR code on entry. You scan it into the robot, and it now checks to see whether I'm wearing a mask, which I'm not right now, and it's telling me I need to put my mask on. As I do, it says that my temperature is 36.4, that's allowed, that's within the range, and then it should come up on the screen here to say that I'm green to go. I'm okay to go.
穿橙色衣服的先生，请您把口罩戴好，把口罩戴好，谢谢。
你好，我是防疫机器人安学士，目前正在进行环境消杀，请注意避让，谢谢。
您好，咱们都需要戴口罩。您塞的其中3的话，可以去发热门诊。
不少同学都注意到了这位新伙伴，他可以同时检测15个人的体温数据，还能识别有没有人没戴口罩。它不仅在大屏幕上实时显示每个学生的体温数据，还在监测到体温异常的情况时立马大声报告。仅用了1小时，620名学生就完成了体温检测登记，进入学校。
So first of all, I want to check my body temperature. The only thing that I have to do is just stand in front of this robot. It's scanning me right now. Yes. And like this on screen, it shows that my body temperature is 37.2 degrees Celsius, which is a normal body temperature.
Hello, everyone. Are you guys still with us? Give me the thumbs up, give me all the love to see that you are still excited for the last group for today. Okay, because we have another team, another five teams who will be competing tomorrow. Okay, so for this team, we would like to invite the Xingzhou team. So in Xingzhou team, we have Jocelyn Tesh Wangru, and we also have Ngai Se Xing. So welcome, Jocelyn and Xing. Is is that how you prefer me to call you, or Joe?
Yeah.
Joe, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So how are you doing, Jocelyn, Joe, and Xing?
Um, I'm doing fine, I think. Yeah.
Doing fine. That sounds. It seems quite unsure, but I can see that you're doing good. So Xingzhou, did I Xingzhou? Is it Xingzhou?
Yes.
So I think if you okay. I think you're using your earphone. Maybe you need to speak a little bit louder, yeah, Joe and Xing.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So, Xing Joe, if you go, okay, this is not really a quiz, but let me guess. Xing Joe, is it a combination of your name? The Xing come
Yes.
from the Xing, and Joe come from Joe from as in from Jocelyn, right? Okay.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's creative and easy, smart. Okay. So
Thank
currently,
you.
at which university you're studying?
We are from University Technology Petronas, UTP.
Oh, UTP. So now
Yes.
you're viewing this from your campus?
Home.
Oh, your
We are
home.
at home.
Oh,
Yes,
both
because
of you
we
are
are
at home.
currently doing our internship.
So what
Um,
course do you take in uh, UTP?
for both of us, we are currently taking electrical and electronics engineering.
Oh, that sounds electrical and electronics engineering, right? So maybe some younger kids out there, they would like to know what is electrical and electronics engineering. If someone like me, a biology student, would like to ask you what is electrical and electronics engineering is all about.
Okay, so in order to explain this EE in a very
Oh,
layman term, first,
pardon me, Joss. Who's going to share the screen?
yes,
I'm sorry. Who's going to share the screen?
I'll be sharing the screen.
Just proceed sharing the screen, Joe. Then I will bother
All right.
Xing. Let Xing talk.
Okay.
And Jocelyn, just do your work and share the slide. I'm sorry, I
All right.
forgot about that. Okay, Xing. Yeah, like I said just now, if someone asks you about electric and electronics engineering, because I'm sure we have adi out there, they would like to maybe in the middle of want to choose what kind of field they would like to get involved when they're in the tertiary level. So, what will you tell them about electric and electronics engineering?
Complicated and interesting.
Which part? Why is it complicated?
You need to deal with a lot of the circuit and wires.
Ah,
It's very complicated. Yeah.
I see. So actually, when we're talking about electrical electronics, people usually relate that kind of thing with circuits and the components, right? Is your lecturer here, right here in the Airmeet session?
Yeah.
And is it a she or a he? I think for Xingzhou we have Associate Prof. Dr. Saad Azhar Ali and Dr. Lin Zewei. Both of them are your supervisor for this project, right? For the major. Joe, can you please proceed showing the slide presentation? Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I
So,
mean the slide mode. Sorry, slide mode.
yeah, all right. So, sure. I'll just change it to slide mode. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Okay, now let's start.
Okay, sure, no problem. So now I'll be starting off this presentation. Thank you, Kat, for the introduction. Hi, everyone, and a very good afternoon to our honorable judges and fellow friends and ladies and gentlemen. Are you all doing fine? We hope that you are doing well in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic situation, especially when the variant is here. Firstly, allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Jocelyn.
And I am Gai Singh.
And together, we are from the Team Singjo representing University Technology Petronas. And we also have our supervisor, Associate Professor Dr. Syed Sahad Sar Ali. Today, we would like to introduce you to the Scholasys Medical Assistant, SMA. First, allow me to talk to you about the agenda that we will walk through today, including the introduction, project development, impact to society, project relation with United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, commercial viability, and lastly, conclusion. First, have any of you heard of Scholasys? Do you know what it is? Scholasys is actually a spinal deformity. So on the right side of the picture, you can see that this is a normal spine, which is supposed to be straight. However, for some people, they may have some curvature on their spine. So this curvature of their spine is known as scoliosis. And usually scoliosis is diagnosed among the adolescents as they are still growing up. And from the picture here, you may be thinking that this scoliosis might be just a curvature of sideway, but in reality, it could be a 3D curvature as well. That means it could be front and sideway. So here we have next, we have a few like the actual X-ray pictures. So to introduce you with a better idea. On this picture, you can see that there is just a slight curve, which we will call as a mild scoliosis, that we can see that it has only a low angle of deformity. Therefore, the patient can still move on with their life as usual. However, we also have this severe scoliosis, and as you can see here, it is a very huge curve. And when the spine is curved like this, it may press on our heart or our lungs, and it will cause problems like breathing difficulties or maybe our heart problems. So after knowing this scoliosis, how do we calculate it and define them? So we can use something known as Cobb angle to calculate it, which I will be explaining further on. So here are a few snippets of the newspaper that shows about scoliosis. Next, I'll be talking about the problem statement. After knowing what scoliosis is, do you know how prevalent it is in Malaysia? So according to a research conducted among the Malaysian teenagers, the prevalence rate of scoliosis is about 2.55%. So you may think, 2.55%, it sounds very less, right? But if we look at the actual data extracted from this research, among 8,000 plus of the teenagers, there are 400 plus of them who have this scoliosis problem. So the lives of 400 plus people should not be neglected, right? And furthermore, the general public, they are not aware of scoliosis, like they don't know about it, or they don't really bother about it because they think that they can move on their life with it. And furthermore, within Malaysia, the general practitioners, whom are the doctors from like clinics and maybe hospitals, they do not have the approximate angle of the deformity. That means the general practitioners, they don't have the equipment to calculate or measure the scoliosis angle, nor do they have the technical knowledge about that, or maybe they have forgotten about it. So therefore, here we are. Scholasys Medical Assistant, SMA, is aimed to help the general practitioners to calculate the angle of the spine deformity and group whether how severe they are. So how we do it is that the general practitioners, they only need to know how to upload X-ray images. So before I move on slightly, please allow me to introduce you to a few technical terms when it comes to scoliosis. First, how do we calculate the scoliosis angle? First, I'll bring you to this Cobb angle calculation. As you can see here, this is a slightly curved spine, and this straight line is drawn like for 90 degrees from this bone. So how do we calculate it is that we will find the most tilted vertebra pairs, which are these two pairs, and we will draw a straight line from their end plates. And then once they connect together, then this angle will be the Cobb angle. By having this Cobb angle, we can classify the scoliosis into 4 categories. Less than 10 degree, not scoliosis. 10 to 20 degree, mild scoliosis. 20 to 45 degree, it will be moderate scoliosis in which one has to wear the braces, while if more than 45 degree, that would be severe scoliosis and the patient would require surgery. So after knowing this Cobb angle, I will bring you further a little bit advanced to talk about the Lanke classification. Since we know that our spine is so long, and sometimes there may not be only one curve that exists, that may be like 2 or 3, so we can briefly split the spine into 3 parts, which is the first one is the proximal thoracic curve, PT, which is the spine like behind our neck there. Secondly is the main thoracic curve, which is behind our chest, while the lastly is the thoracolumbar or lumbar curve, which is behind our back. So here, how do we obtain this PT, TRL, and MT is that we just use the theory of the COP angle to calculate 3 of them. After obtaining these 3 angles, we will then look at which angle is the largest. So for example, if the MT is a very huge angle, while the other 2 have negligible angle, then it will belong to the Lenke classification type 1, where there is only a major MT. And next, if someone has a major MT and a minor PT, that means a small, not negligible value of the PT, then the person will be considered as the Lenke classification type 2, and so on. So here, we have talked about the COP angle as well as the Lenke classification. So moving on, after knowing how to calculate these scoliosis angles, so why not we just use manual calculation on them? So here is a research paper, and as you can see, there are 4 examiners. Each of them is given 48 X-ray images, and they are required to calculate the COP angle. And also, each of them is required to calculate each X-ray picture for twice. As you can see here, when they are all required to calculate it twice, they obtain different results. So for example, the first picture, they obtain some degree. The second one, the degree may be -1 or -2 or -3, and so on. So here we can observe a trend. That is, there is this intra-observer variability in which each person, they will calculate different results when they are performing the calculation twice. Furthermore, also you can see that among these 4 examiners, all of them obtain different results. So here leads to the inter-observer variability. So when we perform the manual calculation, it will bring a lot of this variability. And furthermore, what's worse is that from this table, we can see that for examiner 2, first his calculation is like this, and then the second one, it differs by 9 degrees. So if you look back at the COP angle calculation just now, a difference in 9 angle may lead someone from mild scoliosis to moderate scoliosis or moderate scoliosis to severe scoliosis, which is a very severe issue. Therefore, we strongly believe that the manual calculation may not be too suitable. So moving on, since the manual calculation is not suitable, there must be some technology that is in the market, right? Yes, there is. Currently, the technology on the scoliosis calculation is known as EOS machine, as the one you can see on the right side. So the patient have to stand inside, and the machine will evaluate the spine alignment of the patient, as well as it can automatically calculate the COP angle and Lenke classification, as I mentioned just now. However, in Malaysia, currently there's only 1 hospital who has it, which is Alti Hospital at Jalan Ampang, KL. So you may be asking, since this is so useful, why not we just have it in all of the hospitals around Malaysia? This is because it is very costly, which costs up to 500k euro, which is approximately 2.3 million ringgit. Therefore, it is not widely available within the hospitals in Malaysia. Furthermore, for this machine, orthopedic doctors, they would really find it useful, but not for the general practitioners, because for the general practitioners, the patient, they come in with different kind of pains, and sometimes they would not use this very frequently. So again, I reemphasize that this EOS machine will be useful for the orthopedic doctors, but not the general practitioners. So after knowing this downside of the manual calculation and the current technology, here we go. We're going to introduce you to the Scoliosis Medical Assistant, SMA. The Scoliosis Medical Assistant, SMA, is a software designed for the general practitioners to analyze scoliosis condition. So on the right side here, we have the user interface. And as you can see, it is a clean user interface, and it would be very easy to operate because we just have to fill in a form. Furthermore, the good thing about this software is that it has a high accuracy result up to 96%. So how is this achieved is that we are using the deep learning, which is known as the convolutional neural network, CNN, to train this model. So next, moving on, I will be explaining how to operate this SMA from the doctor's perspective. First, of course, they will have to download this software on their computer. Secondly, they'll have to fill out the patient information and for clinic use, and they just type in all the details. Then they can click on this upload X-ray picture, which will prompt them to browse the X-ray picture and for them to upload. And after that, after completing this part, they can just click on this diagnose the scoliosis problem, and the program will start doing its stuff. After the program is completed, it will pop out the result at the result section below, which shows the diagnosis result and the treatment suggestion. So after having that, the doctors, they will just have to click on this print report, and once the report is printed, they can move on to the next patient. So how does the report looks like? So here is a dummy report. First, it will include the patient details as well as the X-ray picture analysis, which I will talk about it later. And we also have this like scoliosis analysis to show whether they are what kind of scoliosis they are and the angles and the Lenke classification as well as the treatment suggestions and some details of the doctors. Furthermore, in order to make this SMA to be more flexible, we are planning to make it into a customizable report in which different hospitals, they can customize this report to their own design. This will also enable certain degree of design flexibility. So next, move on, I'll be showing you what we have trained towards the model and how it looks like. Firstly, this is the input in which it is a normal X-ray picture which has some bones behind. So our program will extract the vertebrae like this on the spine. And then once the program extracts the vertebrae, it will start to find the end plates for each vertebrae. Then once the end plates are available, the program will then compute all of the angles and find the most tilted pair. And so I've mentioned just now, these blue lines will be PT, the middle one will be MT, while the last one will be TLL. Then later on, this program will also compute the Lenke classification in which it will show which type of curve it is. And here are the angles of the Cobb angle. So as we have mentioned just now during the Lenke classification, MT has the largest angle. Therefore, it belongs to the curve type 1. But however, it also has a quite huge PT, so it could be type 2 as well. So for this, once the report is being generated, it can then be sent to the orthopedic doctors for them to analyze which kind of curve it is. Next, we also have the second one. And as you can see, it does the same thing. And it will show you the Lenke classification and the angles. And here is the third one, which goes the same. Next, I will pass the floor to Naizixing to continue the presentation.
Hello, so I will proceed with the project development. Next. So before we start our project, of course we are exposed to the basic of AI. So thanks for because we are attending the Petrosains Varsity, so it will give a several section about the basic of AI, and then we will proceed to our project. So how we come up with this idea, scoliosis medical assistant. So at first, we must think the image of this word. Yeah? Yes?
Xing, I think your background music is too loud. Yeah, we cannot hear you clearly. Is it from Xing?
So sorry. So I'm not able to control the music sound because I'm in cafe. So I try to talk to the microphone. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Talk louder a bit.
Yeah. Maybe you
now?
can talk a bit louder.
How about now? Is that okay? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry for my bad. So, and then I proceed with this. The presentation. Is that okay?
Yes, you can proceed, Xing.
Okay. Sorry. So at first we need to think the issue of this word. So we focus in the medical field. So actually, one of our friend having a scoliosis problem, and then we went for the medical check and realized this scoliosis. But then he only go for the consultation of a GP. So actually, the GP not really know how to calculate the Cobb angle. So we come up with this idea as well. So it has a automated scoliosis assessment. So from this, we proceed to the review resources and literature to support our thesis. So actually, as we are engineering student, we are not really know about the medical knowledge, the medical news, and also the medical device. So actually, we need to read a lot of articles to understand the scoliosis problem. And other than that, it's not only scoliosis is not about only Cobb angle only, but also it can categorize into different types based on the Lenke classification. So this is our first step of our project. Then we proceed to the procedure. So actually, we develop a simple program by our own, but it's rejected. This because the accuracy is too low. It's only about 0.4933. So our target is reach 0.9 accuracies. So, and also the program is only learn the feature of the spines and is unable to calculate the top angle. So this is the reason why we reject the first option. And then we proceed to the second option. We find the coding resource from the GitHub, but however, it's rejected again by us. Why? Because the coding resource require a NVIDIA graphic cards. However, I'm an AMD graphics card user, so it's not really friendly to me. And but however, the main purpose, the main things that we reject this idea is because it only can detect the the line mark of the spine. So actually, to calculate the top angle, is the better way is to come out the shape of the vertebra. But as you can see this picture, it only detects the landmark of the spine. So the second option is rejected again. So it's okay, then we proceed, we find the coding resource from the GitHub again. And then finally, we found out one of the coding resource is able to obtain the result that we expected. So it not only detects the landmark of the spine, it creates the shape of the vertebra, and then it can from the picture, it can calculate the top angle. Other than that, it still can categorize the scoliosis based on the Lenker classification. It is from the direct Magua. It's a code. It's from GitHub, as you can see. And then finally, we successfully obtain our result as well. Next. So in this program, as I mentioned just now, we are engineering students. We are not really know about the medical fields things, the news, and also the device knowledge. So of course, we find some expert for helping us as well. So at first, we only are able to find the top angles, scoliosis top angle info from Google as well. But however, after we meeting with Dr. Lim, he told us that the scoliosis angle classification is the old version one. So he gave us the latest one. So this in the previous slide I mentioned, that's the latest version. And also, he gave us an idea about the technology used to calculate the scoliosis like EOS. So from that, it support our thesis as well. Other than that, we are lack of knowledge and on the artificial intelligence. So we seek help from an expert, which is a computer science student from University Malaya, Vincenzi. So he give us some advice on the technical issue related to AI, such as the CNN, AIN, such yeah. Next. So in this program, of course, we encounter a lot of challenge, and the first one is that the program require is the computer with NVIDIA graphic cards. So actually, it's not really useful for the AMD graphic cards user like me. So because for SMA, it's all about the image processing. So in this program, there's a PyTorch library required. So it's an image processing tools. And inside this library, it requires a CUDA toolkit. And CUDA toolkit is part of the NVIDIA graphic cards. So this is why we could not proceed without the NVIDIA graphic cards. So, but then we find out the solution is using the Google Colab because it's used a GPU of cloud. Yeah, so it solved our problem. And the second one is the result obtained cannot be used for top angle measurement. So as I mentioned, that during the project development, we have the first option and the second option, but it's rejected because it's only detect the landmark of the spine. So we could not obtain the the result that we want for the top angle measurement. So we proceed with doing researching or finding another coding resources. And the third one is lack of time to doing coding. So for information, we are a third year student and having our internship as well. So just imagine that after 9 hours of working per day, we need to go back for testing our code again. So actually it's like quite rushing. In other words, we are lifeless. Yeah. So, however, we try our best to find the time balancing on the testing coding during our internship period. And then we are here now. And the last one is insufficient knowledge on deep learning. So we are engineering students, so we are less exposed to coding. We have a basic of it, but not really very expert on it. So we do a lot of research on the deep learning, and also as expert for help, like from the student that I mentioned just now. Yeah. So these are the challenges that we encounter. So how SMA impact on society? So at first, it reduced time for manual calculation of chord angle. So from Dr. Lim, we know that actually for calculating X-ray P about the chord angle, it takes about 5 minutes. It's only for simple calculation of the chord angle only. It doesn't include the linker classification yet. So just imagine that one P maybe need to take about 20 minutes. Actually, it's quite long. But however, using SMA, it only requires a 20 second to obtain the result as well. And just think about, okay, maybe some people will say that, okay, it's only 20 minutes, I am able to wait. But then if it is a mass screening, do you think it's really time consuming? For me, it's yes. So SMA actually is able to handle a mass data for calculating the chord angle as well. And the second one is improve the awareness of public on scoliosis. This because scoliosis is not really familiar in the public, but then if the invention of SMA will raise the awareness because they will think that, oh, it's very normal, it's a normal thing again, because it can obtain the result easily. So this is the way to improve the awareness of public on scoliosis. And the third one is reduce inter-observer and intra-observer variability on chord angle calculation. As my partner mentioned just now, the maximum error it can reach 9 degrees. So maybe the actual result of the chord angle is 37 something, but because of this error, it can be classified into a severe scoliosis. So actually, it's bring the impact because different doctors has their different technique to calculate the chord angle. But then SMA is a standard. It has standardized, so it will come out an accurate result as well. And the third one is enable orthopedic to dive into the treatment quicker. So actually, as I mentioned earlier, actually it take a 20 second and then it will come out the result. So at the same time, it can get a proper result and also the treatment in a short time. Okay, next. So what if we don't treat the scoliosis and let it be? Scoliosis actually is a progressive condition. It will only get worse as we age. So the serious effect is that it will cause breathing problem. Why? This is because when the spine deform, it will cause the reduction, a space reduction in our lung. So actually, it leads to the condition that we have a difficulty in breathing. So at the same time, you see the heart need to function um, quickly to ensure that the oxygen is transported to all part of the body. So actually, this will cause a damage to the heart. And the third one is appearance change. Appearance change in the shoulder, hips, and actually it reduces the self-confidence. So actually, people think that it's only appearance change. It doesn't bring a big effect. But from this bit, you can see that do you feel very confident while you go out with this appearance? For me, no. So actually, for me, I will choose the treatment as well. Okay, next. And the project relation with SDG. Okay. So actually, it's involved in the SDG 3, it's good health and well-being. So actually, the scoliosis bring a serious effects that I mentioned just now. Is a lung space reduction leading to the difficulty in breathing, and also the imbalanced appearance in shoulder, hips, and rear. Not only the physical health, but also the mental health because it reduces self-confidence as well. So actually, SMA is really achieve the SDG 3 to ensure the good health and well-being of one life at every step of the age. So it helps in diagnosis the scoliosis problem and able to receive a proper treatment in the early stage. This is because scoliosis is a progressive condition. It will getting worse early. So actually, it's better to receive the proper treatment in the early stage as well. And the second one is the SDG 8. Yeah, this one work at economic growth. So a prolonged scoliosis condition will make you may lead to the pain in different body parts. So just imagine that you are not feeling well. Of course, you are not feeling. It's very discomfort at work. So at the same time, it reduces the work productivity. When uh, employees is reduce the work productivity, of course it will lead to the lower company performance. So actually it's like it affects each other. So actually SMA help like because SMAs will think it's become very normal things in one
Sing.
people's life.
Hello,
Yes.
Sing. Take a deep breath and then you might need to speak a little bit louder. Yeah.
Okay, sorry for my bad. I try. Okay. So I continue my presentation. I'm so sorry about that. So actually, SMA will help the early detection of the scoliosis problem among the adults, not only adults but also the teenager who will be the adults in the few years. So actually, I think this it will lead to the economic growth as well. And the third one is SDG 9, is an industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So as mentioned earlier, it's only orthopedic doctor could measure the cup angle correctly, not GP. Okay, and there is no any related software in Malaysia that can measure the cup angle in automated manner. So with SMA, it helps in calculating the cup angle automatically and efficiently. At the same time, it reduces the time taken compared to the traditional way. As I mentioned just now, the comparing like 20 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's a big gap actually, I can say that. So from SMA, it still identify the scoliosis problem, like determine the types of the scoliosis based on the linker classification. Yeah. So this is the summary of our SDG. So this actually leads some effect based on each SDG, but in a small conclusion, I can say that SMA is really brings the benefits that it able to diagnose the scoliosis problem, and this time it can define it based on the types of it can define the type of scoliosis based on the linker classification, and also able to calculate the cup angle automatically. So at this time, it will able the GP suggest the proper treatment and also reduce the discomfort while working. And also this treatment is really this diagnosis is really take a short times only. Yeah, this all from my side. Yeah.
All right, so next I'll be continuing on the commercial viability. So why do we think that this SMA is commercially viable? We have a few reasons. Firstly is the market potential. We believe that SMA has a high market potential because currently there is no competitor within Malaysia to have such software. Of course, if you want to compare it with the US system, well, it may be a little bit too pricey to compare with it. Furthermore, there is less to none competitors in the international level as well. Even though many researches have been done on this issue, but from what we have known, there is no any software that is published in the market yet. Secondly, why is this SMA commercially viable? Because the targeted customers are very huge. Because we are currently targeting like the small clinics and hospitals around Malaysia, and here we have 145 government hospitals in Malaysia and 150 private hospitals. Just imagine if 100 of them choose to download our SMA, this will definitely bring a positive feedback to the healthcare industry. Furthermore, we believe that this SMA requires only low maintenance costs. This is because we think that it only requires a small team of software engineers. These software engineers, at first, they may have to devise the software and publish it online, and then they will only have to maintain it from time to time, maybe like update the fix, the debug, and many more. Furthermore, these software engineers, they can also provide consultation to hospitals, such as teaching them like how do they change the report design. So why do we think that it requires low maintenance costs? Because when we compare to the COVID Now website, it only uses 4 engineers. So we believe that SMA would not require too many engineers or too many manpower as well. So moving forward, in order to adopt and leverage this SMA, we have a few suggestions. Firstly, we believe that this SMA can be published online on the website, and the software can be uploaded in an exe file form. Therefore, the hospital doctors, they can just download this software, and within a few clicks, it can be installed on their computer. Furthermore, nothing comes free, right? We think that this SMA can start off with a 30 days free trial in which the doctors can try to start using it. However, for this stage, there will be watermark and formatted report in which they can't change anything. If the doctors are satisfied with the SMA, they can then proceed with the subscription, and the subscription plan, we are currently planning like 100 ringgit per month, which is way much cheaper compared to the EOS system mentioned just now. Next, furthermore, in order to attract more doctors to download this SMA, we believe that the website can be also, we can put up a few benefits of it. For example, how SMA reduce the time taken to diagnose the scoliosis problem and how accurate it is. And furthermore, we can also have some testimonies from the doctors so that they will tell how SMA is useful for them. And the biggest benefit is that SMA is definitely way much cheaper compared to the EOS system, which is affordable for the general practitioners to subscribe it. Lastly, we also think that in order to leverage this SMA, we can also provide the customer service and ongoing support and maintenance so that if the hospitals face any issue, they can always find us. However, this will only be allowed when they pay the subscription plan monthly. So, in a nutshell, we believe that Scoliosis Medical Assistant, SMA, is a very useful tool to evaluate the scoliosis problem. Firstly, let me reiterate, how do we calculate the scoliosis problem is by using the Cobb angle and Lanky classification. This SMA solution is very cheap, efficient, and viable, and we believe that it will definitely raise the public awareness about scoliosis problem, as well as leveraging the healthcare industry to a digitized era. So we believe that's all from us. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
So thank you, Joe and Sing. We'll go straight to the Q&A session. We would like to invite Ms. Nimi Soraya onto the stage with Mr. Tariq and Mr. Khairul. So we will proceed with the Q&A. Question will come first from the first judge, which will be Ms. Nimi.
All right. Thank you, Joe and Ting. How do you feel right now?
Nervous.
No, still nervous. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you can stop your nervousness. Okay, you have
Okay.
done a great job presenting
Thank
your
you.
project for today. And before I go straight to my questions, I would like to congratulate to both of you because to me, you explain briefly on scoliosis first. So it helps me or all of us to understand better on what is scoliosis and how does it relate to our daily life. And then you also share on the current technology on scoliosis and the downside of the current technology and how you relate it to why you came up with this idea of SMA. All right. And lastly, I like the way you relate or explain the SDGs that relates to your project. I mean, you explain deeper how your projects relates to all 3 SDGs. So that's the best part of your presentation. Okay, and before I ask you further on the question, may I know that this SMA must it have X-ray analysis for it to calculate or produce the results?
Yes, it has to be X-ray picture. Yes.
Okay. So you're saying that clinics or GPs must have this X-ray devices for it to analyze the backbones, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is, have you done any trials at clinics, especially at rural areas, that might have minimal equipments at their clinics? And one question from Mr. Zain is that, have you done any trials or your solution with younger generations? Maybe like yeah, because this topic is very close to him. So his niece has to go through the surgery. So maybe if you have any trial with a younger generation, that's one. And another one is, have you approached your any targeted customers on your projects? And if yes, how do they respond to your proposals? Yeah, that's
Okay.
the question from
So,
me.
all right. Thank you, Nimi, for the question. So firstly, we have yet to try it on many clinics because currently we have built the model, but it is still like we have yet to approach anyone for testing and so on. And secondly is that will it work on the younger children? We believe that yes, it would, because it is the same the X-ray picture, so it will detect it as what it should be detected for the adults. And I think that's it. Yeah. We have yet to try it to the public yet, but if there is any opportunity, we would love to.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Joe, for the answers. Over to Niza.
So I think that's all from Miss Nimi. We will go to the next question, which will come from Mr. Tariq.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for the wonderful presentation. It was quite detailed. And you are from UTP. That brings unforgettable memories for me since I did my studies there. It's a very nice environment to study. And I like the presentation while in the background music. I mean, it might be uncontrolled, but it's fun. Maybe next time you can suggest music to play. So it's quite an intricate topic, I guess. It's a technical, medical, and the way they use medical terms is quite frustrating. So I'm not trying to tell any of these terms. I'm sure you have to spend some time to learn these medical terms. So starting off, the project is amazing. I guess it's going to solve very important issues in the medical, and using computer vision to actually reduce the cost. That is the pain point, I guess, right? Trying to reduce from a capital cost of 2 million to 100 ringgit per month. I think you're selling it a bit cheap. You should increase it a little bit. So technical questions. So you're trying to calculate the Cobb angle and the link classification. So which one is using the neural networks?
So first of all is we have the X-ray pictures, and we are using the neural network CNN to find out the spine from the X-ray picture, because X-ray picture itself has noise. And then for the calculation, we are using the MATLAB because it has the image processing toolbox, which is good for it to calculate the angles.
Oh, cool. So it's the segmentation first, followed by the calculations. Very interesting.
Yes.
And I believe you've used some training data to come up with that neural network training. Did you use any open source data to train the CNN?
You mean the X-ray pictures, right?
Yeah.
The X-ray pictures are obtained from the London Medical Health Centre, and we have about a total of 600 plus of the pictures for us to train the model.
Okay, cool. One thing that I heard, you guys adapted a code from GitHub. So I believe you guys want to commercialize as well. Uh, I'm not sure how are you gonna address that, because it's other people's code, so there's a licensing involved. Have you tried to look at the license if it's permissive, or you're gonna share some benefits with the developer, or what?
Currently, we have yet to really thought about it, but we believe that I have actually personally contacted with the author. So if we are going to commercialize it, I believe that I'll ask him for permission, or maybe we can share some money with him.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, good to think about that. And maybe last question. I see that you are trying to deploy it as an executable solution, MATLAB based, and they install in a desktop of some sort. Any plans to move it to the cloud, web page, so that people can easily, use it without, maybe even with the phone? Is that possible?
We believe that it is possible, but because this is something that we have developed, definitely one would have to pay it before they can use it. Of course, doing it on the website or maybe phone is possible, but it may take some time for us to move on with it.
Very good, great efforts, and I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tariq. Now we'll go to the commentary and feedback session with Mr. Khairul.
Hello, Jocelyn and Zing. This your project is very it's very impressive, and it is like Mr. Zain is also close to me. So you have two judges who are probably impacted by scoliosis. I have a stepbrother who has scoliosis. But so it's good for me to learn lanky classification and curve angle. You did a fantastic job with the science communication, I have to say. um, yeah, so congratulations on that. I loved it. I love your presentation and your materials, very well done. So I really want to see your work get to the market here, because out of the 2%, it happens to impact a close family relative of two of the judges. Okay, so um, I'm not sure the technical part because I'm not technical. I understand you compared it with the EOS system machine, which is huge and expensive, and that is only targeting scoliosis. But I believe you are aware there are multiple AI medical assistant diagnostics available on the market. Some of them by mm, are already penetrating the market with different diseases, also looking at X-ray and all that. So perhaps this is just a suggestion if you want to carry forward. Um, you can work with them and add scoliosis to another one of their diagnostics. That way you won't have to work so hard to get into the market, because I believe some hospitals are already implementing it. Some of the larger chains in Malaysia, they have already implemented AI diagnostics in Malaysia. So if you patent your scoliosis medical, you insert it, that might help you get to market faster. That is one. And another one, yeah, I just hope I understand you're doing your internship and there's time issues for you to test out. But that's the challenge if you have a great idea that you how much do you believe in it, how much do you want to push yourself early on in your life, to see value out of something you've worked so hard to develop. So I hope you do consider starting something to commercialize this. All right, all the best
Okay.
to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carol. And actually, Joe and Sing, we have a question from the floor here. So I will pop it on the screen so that you can see the question. So actually, the question is from one of the judges, which is Mr. Zain, and he asked, is the solution taken from the paper you referred to patented or available for use with agreement?
It is actually available for use with agreement.
I see.
Yeah.
So I think Mr. Zain, take note on that. And actually, he also gave one feedback from the Q&A. He said that I think GP still need to refer to specialists for proper diagnosis and best treatment option. So I
Alright.
think that's from Mr. Zain. If you have maybe want to ask further about that, you can just keep in touch with with Mr. Zain after this. Okay.
Okay.
So
Can I add on something? Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. So actually, is that for the GPs when they print the report, it will not stop here. The patient will then be referred to the orthopedic doctors and to receive further treatment. So this is how it works. It's just that GP help in the initial calculation for the COP angle and then only move on to the next to the orthopedic doctors so that they can save their time. They don't need to start from zero. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
So I think that thank you very much to both Joe and Sing for their presentation. You did a great job despite of the quite challenging situation with the background sound. But then that doesn't stop Sing and Joe from conveying all of the presentation very well. So now we would like to invite all of the judges onto the stage. So uh, okay, so with the end of the presentation and Q&A session with Xingzhou team, that means we have reached the end of the competition for day one. That means we have another day tomorrow. So thank you very much, judges. We have here Miss Nimi Soraya. Thank you, Miss Nimi. And we have Mr. Khairul, Mr. Tariq, and Mr. Zain. So thank you very much, judges, for your willingness to dedicate your precious weekend sharing your valuable feedbacks, and stakeholder view for our team's project. So we look forward to see you tomorrow, and we hope the same kind of energy from our judges. So, though, however, Mr. Tariq won't be with us tomorrow because we will have another partner judge. Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Tariq, for your time today. We hope to see you again in the next RBTX competition. Okay, so and congratulations to the teams who had given their best on the stage today. So please applaud for AIM, X-Wing, Robocore, and Shinjo because for their commitment for RBTX since August. So we hope that you will keep on challenging yourself and keep on doing innovation project that will benefit the nation and perhaps to the entire world. Okay, and those you who might have missed the earlier session, I just would like to share with all of the audience about the prizes that the winners will bring back. So the winner will win Ringgit Malaysia 1,500 ringgit with certificate of achievement. That's for the champion, and the first runner-up will receive 1,000 ringgit with certificate of achievement, and the second runner-up will win 500 ringgit with certificate of achievement. So for other teams, you who do not win any places, you guys will receive a certificate of achievement for Grand Finals Petrosains RBTX Challenge 2021. But dear participants, let me remind you, I simply would like to let you I simply want to let you guys know that no matter whether you will place one, two, three or not, actually the moment that you decided to be part of RBTX competition, that means this is the moment that you have decided to take up the challenge. That means you are already the winner. So give yourself a pat on your shoulder, give the all other participants a thumbs up, a clap, a heart. Okay, so the most important thing is actually their journey for the innovation category until today, because I believe that no one can buy that experience from you. That's yours. Okay, you own it. So it is priceless. You guys have our organizers learn a lot too. Me myself including. So to all viewers who are viewing us through Airmeet and Facebook, kindly fill in the feedback form that will be posted on the comment or chat box. We really appreciate that you can take some of your time to fill in the feedback, because your feedback will really help us to improve our delivery and our content in future. So all participants and audience, you may also take this time to explore our meet, because we also have our partner booth, Petronas, we have Sense Times, we have UBTech, AR EduTech, Microsoft, Microsoft and Magic, and other partner universities. So and tomorrow we will be back again with other five teams who will continue the challenge for champion title for grand finals RBTX Innovation Varsity category. So that's all from me. I'm Hanizar, your moderator for today. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Please don't forget to comply to SOP all the time, because we are still in the middle of recovering from the pandemic, right? So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Thank you, dear judges.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Niza. Thank you, everyone.